Steel boots stomping, crashing the floor. Two wild Yinzers kicking through the door. Loud like a jag-off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. From the bug with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The Madcap Kings breaking every mold. With two Dum Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Yeah, welcome back to the show, everybody. This is episode 911. That's right, 911, 911, and it falls on Friday the 13th. You gotta love it, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the two Dum Yinzers, guys. Nice to have everybody. Nice to see everybody today. Michael, Friday the 13th today, Valentine's Day tomorrow. I wonder which way my luck is gonna go. What are you most excited about heading into this weekend, man?
I'm excited about Friday the 13th, to be honest with you.
All right.
So far, my Friday the 13th has gone well. I survived work. My computer is running enough to where I can actually have my actual camera running. So I'm excited, but also nervous. Because one thing goes well for me, something's going to go wrong.
It all falls downhill from there.
It does too. I'm ready for like the computer to start smoking during the show.
Today, of course, this is the last day before we do go on our winter vacation, guys. We'll be coming back on the 23rd. That is next Monday, not this coming Monday, but the following Monday, guys. We're just gonna reboot, I guess, is the idea. And Mike, during this period of time, we're going to be working on a lot of things moving forward. And I had some ideas. I just been throwing ideas together over the past month or so. And something that happened on the show yesterday really got the wheels turning in a sense.
Ooh.
This is what I think we're going to do. Well, today, obviously, I mean, we got all our normal things, but this, guys, I think today on the board, we're going to throw up ideas for different shows with people that are involved. You could add people that are on the board regularly. You could add people from the show, but just different name IDs. And I have a few examples to give you. This one could be called, okay, so the premise of this show, Mike, would be a British Browns fan and an American whose parents were Browns fans. And the show will be called The Brit and the Tit. The Brit and the Tit.
I would watch that.
And I think what it could be like, maybe something along the lines of their long lost brothers. They got separated at birth. Derpy's the Brit's dad is British, but Derpy's dad is American, and they are on the show together and they debate, Browns and Steelers shit. I mean, it could be a segment, it could be a whole show. But the Brit and the Tit. How about this one? The Fish and Tits. Fish and Tits. Obviously, for off of the fish and chips reference that the the English
I'm
referred to.
I'm waiting to see what direction this one goes.
It's just the same thing. Again, I'm just saying, if anybody has any interesting, funny ideas for show names moving forward, we'd love to see them on the board today. Fish and Tits, the Brit and the Tit, and also the third one I thought of, Mike. And again, I'm not going to go on all day. We're going to talk Steelers, but the third one I thought would be, here we go. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Lindsay in the Brit, the international incident. Lindsay in the Brit. The international incident.
Oh, poor Lindsay.
The Brit makes his way to the States for the draft. He ends up tracking down Lindsay. It becomes a whole thing, and it becomes an international event. Something like that. So, guys, if you have ideas for just different just different show ideas, it would be funny. Just the names alone, I guess. Throw them up on the board today. I'd love to read them, guys. Again, some examples would be the Brit and the Tit. The Brit and the Tit, the Brown Harbor chef salad is saying on the board. Lindsay and the Couch on the board also by Tyrone. So again, this could be fun randomly throughout the day if you come up with some just some funny titles. It could be shows. It could be anybody on the show. It could be anybody on the board. It could be anybody. You could throw Steelers in there if you want to. Just thought it could be something, a little something we could do fun today heading into the break, Mike, because of course we will not be here next week.
Yeah.
We'll have a little bit of fun with it today. We'll come back the following week with a full head of steam. I cannot wait. This one that just came in from John Steeler Freak says Lindsay is getting a restraining order. So yes, you guys got the idea. So throw them on all day if you have them. I think this could be a lot of fun. Chef Salad says switch that to Cleveland, the Cleveland shit party. Keep them coming. We will read them all show today, guys. Welcome back. This is episode 911. That's right, 911 on Friday the 13th. But it's going to be smoothed over, Mike, by Valentine's Day tomorrow. Yeah. Hopefully, and everybody will have a great week, hopefully, and things will move on, and life will go on, as they say. So
life goes on. I don't know.
A few things we're going to get into today, Mike. Just 94 days to the home opener for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I know a lot of people aren't excited. I know most people don't even care, but at the end of the day, they put together a nice roster this offseason, Mike. I cannot wait. Just 49 days till the opening day home opener for the Pirates coming up, Mike. Pretty excited.
I'm kind of excited for the Bucco season. They have actually made some really good changes to the team. I'm loving it, man. RB, his comments killing me.
RB is a good one. He says Mike and Derpy, the weekly show called Thunder Tits. I like that. See, you got to keep them coming. Who knows? This might spark something, in the future here. So
I'm hoping there would be, like, if I'm on a show that's called Thunder Tits, I would be the Thunder, and there would be the titties would be better.
No,
yeah, but my luck, I guess you got to take what you can get.
By default, Derpy's the tits, and then everybody show.
Come on, thanks, guys. But no, like, the Buccos are actually building around their generational pitcher. What a concept. It worked in Pittsburgh when we built around Ben. It worked in Pittsburgh when we built around Sidney Crosby. Hey, Buccos, try building around Paul Skeens. Let's see what happens.
It looks like they're, for once, moving in the right direction. Obviously, it looks like they're doing this, Mike. So I don't know. We'll continue to follow it. We'll see how it goes. I'm sure it'll all fall apart like it always does for our Buccos. But that is in just 49 days, the home opener coming up. Also, just one more thing I do want to say outside of our Steelers before we do get started. I seen a promotion for the Texas Rangers. This promotion is, if you recall, the bloody lip game where Nolan Ryan got line drive right in the mouth with the ball and his blood was all over his jersey. Well, they're having a promotion here in a couple months. The Texas Rangers are, Mike, where you could get a replica bloody jersey, Nolan Ryan jersey, It's obviously fake blood, of course. But how cool is that? You could go get your Nolan Ryan jersey. It looks like a jersey. It's Texas Rangers, has the name and everything, and has big, huge blood spots right here. I think that's pretty creative, Mike. In a world of promotions and all these free gifts every day going out of 30 different stadiums in every sport, this was creative. I like it.
I like it too. It's something we've never seen before from a team. At least I've never seen. I like it. People need to do more of it. Weird little promotions like this. I find it funny as fuck, and I'd go if I was a fan of that team and get myself a bloody T-shirt.
Yeah, I would too. I think it's pretty. Again, it's creative. Nowadays, it's either bobbleheads, schedule magnets, or something. I like the idea. Somebody's using a little creativity, going outside the box, and again, that's a neat souvenir to have. I mean, albeit it's fake blood, but it's the point that counts, and I think I dig it. I really do dig it. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Again, episode 911 on Friday the 13th. Camp Crystal Lake, all that kind of fun stuff, Mike. Friday the 13th today, the hockey mask, the guy. But that's secondary to what's important, because the Pittsburgh Steelers always fall in the number one slot when you're talking about importance, Mike. Today, we're going to talk about our Pittsburgh Steelers, and there's some things to talk about. Of course, we capped off the largest coaching staff in Steeler history. The Steelers generally run a pretty low number around the league, at least compared to all the other team, a pretty low number of coaching staff, Mike. They are at their highest amount of coaches, assistant coaches, coordinators, et cetera. At this moment, we're going to go through that list of names. We're going to put some closure on some of the drama that happened this week with the within Steeler alumni, and also some free agent talk, guys. We're going to see what's going on. We're going to figure out what's going on and take a look at all this stuff heading into the weekend here on this Friday the 13th. Lindsay's just tapping in. She's just tagged in. We're going to tell her the situation here in a second. Let me get caught up on the terrible board. I do want to say good morning to everybody. Good afternoon to everybody, wherever you may be. Good afternoon and good morning. And Tater just tapped in. So this is perfect timing. I got to get started on the board, though. Let me get started, Mike. Get out of my way. Don't stop me. I got to get this board rolling, and then we're going to break the guys in. What's going on here? And I think this could be a lot of fun. Tyrone, my guys, always great to see Tyrone on the terrible board, brother. How are you? Hope things are well and warming up for you over in Western Ohio. Jamal, my man, gang, sir. Hope things are well for you as well, sir. Heading into this weekend on Friday the 13th. No walking under ladders, anybody. That is a no-no today. The walking under the ladders, the black cat, the broken mirrors, all that stuff. Stay away from it, because you might get Jason Voorhees coming after you. also, Tyrone says, best show. I need to thank you, sir. Well, because of you guys. It's you, because you guys are the best. Steeler Freak says, I'm going to throw up a yellow card before Ian's two fall apart again. Let's do Scoot up here. John, great to see you, my friend. Also, let's go up here to Somber. Somber says, yo, what's up, dude? Ty says he's getting ready to watch some Michael Myers.
Ooh, there we go.
Michael Myers. Let's see. Scoot up here a little bit more to the Chef Salad. He says Brown Harbor, Lindsay in the couch. Lindsay's probably reading these things. What is going on this board? Lindsay in the couch. Lindsay is getting a restraining order. Chef Salad, of course, has switched that to Cleveland Shit Party. RP, Mike and Derpy weekly show called the Thunder Tits. Big step with Tortilla. What's up, dude? Always great seeing Tortilla on the terrible board. Tyrone says either I blocked RB on accident or he blocked me. Uh-oh. RB says this, the part of the show when Derpy comes on should be called Beards and Boobs. I say that this is the creativity I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, guys. You're nailing it on the head. Lindsay, great to see you. Tater Tot with a creepy, weird face with hearts flying around it saying, hey, Lindsay, we're going to get to you guys in just a second. Don't you worry. Ty says this. Well, speaking of the headline. TC, what's up, brother? Always great seeing TC straight from Aliquippa. What's up, my man TC? I hope things are going well for you, sir. I'll talk to you here in a little bit. We've got some things coming up in Quip this coming within the next week. A safe guy. What's up, dude? UK, good evening to you. Good bloody evening to you. Tyrone and Lindsay. Let's see. Somber says this. Lindsay about to crash out, and she just got here. RB says, I didn't block anybody. Steel Loyal says comments might be bugged, guys. So this is the hold on, Steeler Freak got this one. Finchy goes to Vegas and doesn't come back. I tell you what, I'm liking these. However, the hell they're turning out, the titles sound great. Steel Loyal says my last comment didn't show up. I don't know why. Try it again.
Sometimes YouTube will auto filter comments no matter what, because we have no restrictions on the comments. It's just what they have themselves that I can't undo, that they won't post every single comment. Yeah, but they have their own thing in there that they do.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, ain't nothing I can do about it.
There's always got to be a restriction. There's always got to be something. Let me move on. TC, doing okay, brother? Hope I am doing well. I'm doing well. Thank you, sir. Tyrone says, I see you now. I don't know why I couldn't see it earlier. All right, maybe as Somber says, it's YouTube doing YouTube things. And Tortilla says, I think yesterday some of the pods I was watching was having issues too. I don't know. Might not be all. Guys, so this is going to be something that we're just going to kind of do today passively on the board. I came up with some ideas. I was telling the guys earlier at the top of the show, as we were going into our vacation week, we're going to be working on a lot of new things, throwing a lot of new ideas together and trying to formulate things from ideas so we can hit the ground running when we do come back on the 23rd. So we did a little suggestion just at the top of the show. Lindsay, Tater, pay special attention. We're today going to throw up on the board. You guys on the board, throw up funny ideas or names for show ideas coming that we could do after the break. And for an example, let me give you an example. If it was a show for Derpy, we could put Derpy together and Tater. And since Derpy's mom is a Cleveland Browns fan, we could have something like they were separated at birth, and Derpy's dad's a Browns fan, or Derpy's dad's a Steeler fan, but Tater's dad is a Browns fan, and they shipped them to England because for whatever reason. But they get together finally, and they create a show called The Brit and the Tit. The Brit and the Tit. Or Fish and Tits, or something that would bring both worlds together. So what we're going to do today, if you have any funny ideas, as you were seeing on the board, a lot of people were putting Lindsay ideas because we did throw the idea around, maybe Lindsay and the Brit, the international incident. And of course, the premise would be him coming here to, be British or whatever the hell it is that they do. And of course, he would track Lindsay down, and it'll become this whole event, this whole affair, and it'll become a big story. They'd have to, kick him out of the country. You know how those things go. I'm sure it would be a Hallmark film before you knew it. But so today the theme is going to kind of be passive. And if you come up with good ideas, it could be anybody on the show, it could be anybody on the board, it could be any Steeler, it could be anybody you want, Mr. Rodgers if you wanted to. But if you come up with any kind of funny ideas for names, do throw them up on the terrible board today. We'll read them all. We'll laugh at them all. Again, that's going to be kind of what we do as we head into vacation this week. Of course, we are going to be getting into all the Steelers information and scoop that we do have. We have all kind of coach information. We got a loaded coaching staff. So many things going on right now in this off season, guys, but we are going to get ready to reload next week. So if you will, do throw your ideas. We think that this could be hilarious because we do have some hilarious people on the terrible board. I cannot wait to see what some people do have up here. Again, my ideas were the Brit and the Tit, and that would be a bringing together of Derpy and Tater. Fish and Tits, of course. Not one of my favorites, but again, it's just kind of an example to show you bringing the two worlds together. So there you go, guys. You get the idea. You got some funny ideas, different things. I know Tortilla, he's usually a cannon with ideas and funny stuff. So just throw them up on the board. We will read them. We'll stay up on them all show. That is what we'll do today. Welcome back. It's episode 911. If you don't know, it's episode 911 here on Friday the 13th, heading to go into our break, guys, into our winter break. We'll be back again on the 23rd, not Monday coming up, but the following Monday. Let me get up on the board, Mike, because again, I don't want to miss a single message because again, some of these are going to be classic. I cannot wait. I'm in the shower laughing to myself more than usual. More than I usually laugh at myself in the shower. I was laughing to myself thinking this could be really cool, guys. So let's throw stuff up there. If you got an idea, be creative, be whatever, make it as however you want. So much stuff going on. let me get caught up on the board, Mike. Then we're going to get into a lot of Steeler things again today. We do know that it's the Steeler coaching staff is packed full, larger than it's ever been before in Steeler history. We're going to get into that. We're going to close the door on the drama that was the Steelers alum this week, and Mike, we're going to talk some free agency before we head into break this week. Who's going, who's staying? We have a month to figure it out. So a lot going on with our Steelers, and it's not even to the important dates yet, Mike. When you're talking draft, combine, you're talking rookie camp, you're so many things going on this offseason. It's going to be fantastic as always. Let me get on the board. Let me get on the board right here, and I see right about here. Still Loyal says, yeah, it's YouTube, not them. Somber says, yeah, when you said home opener, I said home opener in the way that he spelled it as 2 words, and I got auto modded. Oh, get out. See, I don't like that. I don't like that. Steeler Freak says this: Derpy gets adopted by a sheik and buys the Steelers.
we would have Jared Goff as our starting quarterback.
You don't want Derpy owning these Steelers, believe me. See, that's why I think good debates between him and Tater could be really funny, because Derpy is Derpy and Tater's Tater. I mean, come on, how can you get much funnier than that? I'm just saying. Steel Loyal says, laugh my ass off. It filtered out gang for me. See, what is going on? I seen way worse stuff on YouTube. Come on, what the? Let me continue. Steel Loyal says the gang is a bad way. I mean, come on. The stuff, some of the stuff I seen. How fucking weird. Steel Loyal says, I guess it filtered only for some people. RB Tater and Finch would be Finch and Chips. Finch and Chips. Tater and Finch. I like that. Finch and Chips. Somber says, yeah, weird. Let's do Scoot up here. Two drunk Yinzers. Mike, that's you every day on the show.
Right. That's right up my alley. Two drunk Yinzers. I will happily get drunk and record myself rambling, singing,
Mike,
dancing.
You've been doing that for 3.5 years.
Yeah, but I haven't been filming it.
And you haven't been dancing either, so I'll give you that. But you have been drinking on the show for years.
I think I can count on one hand the times I drank.
All right.
Whiskey.
Lindsay or Tyrone says, let's break the record with comments today. Guys, get them up there. It's gonna be it's gonna be hilarious.
That's gonna be a tall order, man. We had over 1,000 that one episode.
And we had 1,500 the one day.
Yeah, it was 1,500. That's right.
Listen, don't stress, guys. Enjoy yourself. Today's a day to relax. Today is a day
spamming.
We're just going to take it easy today. We're going to slowly work our way into this vacation. And again, a lot of things we're going to do next week. I can't wait. I'm excited because there's a lot of things coming up. So let's stay on the board, Mike. I'm going to go right here. Liz says, oh my God, I'm getting kidnapped.
Don't worry. If you've seen the movie Taken, Liam Neeson has a particular set of skills. Derpy is our Liam Neeson. He has a particular set of skills that he will use to rescue you, hopefully.
All right.
I don't know what those skills are, but he has skills that we can use.
I seen him eat a bag of popcorn faster than I've ever seen anybody eat popcorn in my life. I truly, honestly did. On one of the shows that he did, like sparks were flying from his fingertips. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like it.
We've seen Derpy eat live in person.
It wasn't that scary. It wasn't this scary. I imagined it to be a lot worse.
Yeah, to me it was scary because I was kind of like next to him, and I thought he was gonna like come after me.
Tyrone says Tater would put you in his basement with a couch, chips, Kit Kat, sodas.
Those aren't Kit Kats.
RB says this: have a special one-time show where Finch has to eat Taco Bell for 24 hours. You know what? I like this, and it's just scooted on me. And call it Finching a Loaf. Finching a loaf. I like it. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, I need more of this in my life. TC says smash and dash. Lindsay hates that. I can tell you that right now. Lindsay absolutely hates that, but I think it's pretty damn funny. Lindsay says this Tyrone, he will return me real quick. Tortilla says Vanilla Thunder versus Cleveland. Vanilla Thunder versus Cleveland.
I'm smarter than the entire population of Cleveland. It's not a fair matchup for them.
John says Ryan touching himself in the shower. Again, something that let's do a move on.
Let's just move on.
Vegas says this was Ryan, or was Mr. Rooney holding Coach T back from not allowing him to have a bigger staff, or what do you think that was on? I don't know. That's a good question. Again, they generally ran with about 17 coaches, give or take. I think we topped out about 25 when it's all said and done. We're going to get into that list here shortly. I'm not real sure. To be honest, I never thought twice about it. I never thought twice about the size of our coaching staff compared to anybody else's coaching staff. I just never have until it was brought up recently. Let's scoot up here. TC says people don't understand the smash and dash mentality. I get the smash and dash mentality. Unnecessary dumbness. Tortilla is saying on the terrible board. Also, John says hit and run 40 years ago. Hit and run 40 years ago. Tater got a picture of a little dog with his tongue sticking out. When it would just be a dog with his tongue sticking out, but since it's Tater, it seems perverted, don't it?
It does too, and I bet that dog does breath smells of peanut butter and ball sack.
Yes, it does. Somber says this Derpy stretches his titties out really wide like a wingsuit. That's how he flies.
Oh,
see, now you guys are nailing it. You guys are nailing it. Tyrone says no, I can't do it. Dumping a derpy.
I like it.
Dropping a derpy, leaving a derpy. What's up, dude? What's up, Chris Schrader? Always great seeing you on the terrible board, my man. Hope things are going well for you. I know that the snow and ice is melting, Mike. I don't know what the temperature is going to be like today, but I do see that the roads are clear, the driveways are clear finally after a rough storm last week. So we're all finally getting back to some kind of normalcy here.
We missed Steel Loyal's comment. I don't know if it showed up on your board, Ryan, but mine it showed up. The Pittsburgh Bay Cowboys, Big Mac McCarthy, and the Ayahuasca Warriors.
I love it. And for whatever reason, it didn't show up on my board, so I don't know.
It's on my board.
So whatever we're doing next week, this is going to be up right on the list, figuring out what the hell is going on. Rick, I do want to say welcome to Rick. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the terrible board. He says, humbly as I understand it, actually only about 2 bigger than Tomlin's 2025 staff. My understanding is that you have more specialized, as it were, like a pass game coordinator, for example, et cetera, et cetera. Interesting, Rick. We appreciate that. Rick 74. Thank you for the scoop, my man. Welcome to the show. Glad to see you. Do stick around. Steel Loyal says, damn, my comment didn't see that. I didn't see it either. Mike's seen it.
I seen it.
I didn't see it.
I think Ryan just skipped right over it.
Well, let me go down here a little bit. Steel, I got Schrader, Chad Schrader, I got Steeler Freak, Tyrone, Steel Loyal. Oh, there it is. The Pittsburgh Bay Cowboys, Big Mac. Absolutely, I got it now. Let's do scoot up here a little bit more. We're going to go to John, Big John Stud, middle name Mud. He says Derpy paints his nuts black and yellow and pulls his nutsack over his junk and makes a Steeler bullfrog.
I like it.
I like it. Let's go to Rick. He says, oh, I thought I had heard it was like 20 something. I heard it was like 20 or something Tomlin had in 2025. I guess I was wrong. I mean, you may be right.
2020 or 22 on the coaching staff last year, 25 this year.
All right, I got 25 this year, and for whatever reason, I have 17 from last year, so that could be wrong. I apologize if it is. Tater says this. He says, last winter in Schittsburg, a horror movie about a Brit who can't escape a nightmare. That's so-so.
Isn't that just you living in Great Britain as a Browns fan?
You have to work a little harder. That's all, Tater. That's all. But again, Tater, the resident Browns fan, we took him. We take him. We'll take him. I don't know what his deal is, but you know what? He's been here since the last time we played the Browns, and he's been somewhat delightful. So again, we're going to add him in the shenanigans and put him in any new show idea that you could have. Again, the Brit in the Tit would be a show with him and Derpy. Britain Tit and Chip, or what is it? Tits and Chips. So again, throw your ideas up all day. We want to see the funniest show ideas of Derpy with Tater, anybody. Throw them up on the board today. It's going to be a lot of fun as we do head into this winter break. Mike, let me jump on right here where Somber said, I saint it. Typical Ryan, LOL. Just kidding. No, you're good. It probably is. Hip Stretchers Corporation. Chad says this. I had a question. Then Vanilla made me lost its sense. He talked about a dog licking peanut butter on the balls. He did. That is true. That is something that was been confirmed on the show. Derpy's Aunt Peaches. She says her vagina smells like peanut butter and dog spit. Dang
We
typos.
don't judge.
Chad Traders. Okay, Sat. Yeah, gotcha. Mike likes the sick ones. That is what John is saying. Tortilla says taters are your only fans. Taters are your only fans. Steel Loyal says the Pittsburgh Feelers. I like it, guys. Keep them coming. This is again, we will award the game ball to the best show idea. Again, coming into a lot of new things, big things after this break, guys. John says this. He says Mike and Ryan go to couples counseling.
This is our couples counseling. I hate to break it to you. The whole reason we did the show is like our friendship was failing, and we had to figure out a way to save it. And 911 sessions later.
911 later, baby. This is episode 911 today. Let's get into, Mike. Let's take a look at what this completed Mike McCarthy coaching staff looks like. Again, 25 coaches on this list. The offense has these folks, Mike. The offensive coordinator, of course, we all know is Brian Angelicio. Is the offensive coordinator. You like that first try?
Got that. You got that the first time.
I never got anything on the first try in my life. I am so proud of myself.
Russell Fields and Justin Wilson are happy for you.
Tom Arth is the quarterback's coach. James Campen is the offensive lines coach. Raymond Chinyoung Sr., of course, the running backs coach. Adam Henry, our wide receivers coach. Mike Robert Kugler is our tight ends coach. Frank Signetti Jr., the senior offensive assistant. That is Frank Signetti Jr. Assistant offensive line coach is Jahari Evans. Game management / quarterbacks coach is Tim Burdenich. And finally, offensive quality control is Eric Simone, the third. Mike, that is all of our offensive coaches. Let's talk about some defensive coaches now. The defensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers heading into the 2026 campaign is, of course, Patrick Graham. The assistant head coach / secondary coach, Joe Witt Jr. Defensive passing game coordinator / defensive backs, Jason Simmons, former Pittsburgh Steeler. Defensive line, Mike, is Damata Pico. Outside linebacker coach is Achu. Just kidding, Mike. It is CJ Achu. Achu, spelled Y-O-U, believe it or not. Mike, our inside linebackers coach is Scott McCurley. Defensive assistant is Sean Howe. And also defense assistant is Pat Riley. Mike, let's go to the special teams. Again, this is 25 coaches the Steelers are employing in this 2026 campaign, more than they've ever had. And it's typical, Mike, to be 23.7 coaches is what the NFL generally carries. The Steelers up to 25. Again, the largest coaching room that the Steelers ever carried. Special teams, Danny Crossman is the special teams coordinator and also senior special teams assistant is Darius Swinton, the second. Then we go down to the strength and conditioning coaches. Mark Lovett is the head strength and conditioning coach. Director of Performance Integration Sports Science, Grant Thorne. Just a couple more strength and conditioning assistants are Justice Galak and also Abe Munnair. And then finally, Mike, the chief of staff. The chief of staff is Steve Scarniccia, I believe, something similar to that. It's ballpark.
I think so. You bookended that nicely with the two long names.
The two Italian names. They throw them right at the beginning and right at the end at me there with the big long Italian names. But I think we got close enough. Mike, 25 coaches. Again, there's not much. You could go around. You could look at where these guys came from. A lot of these guys obviously are people that worked or knew Mike McCarthy prior to these hirings. So again, at the end of the day, there's not a lot that you could do besides go back and look at where they coached and look at how the the thing is, Mike, at the end of the day, you do have to peel back a lot of layers if you would decide to do that, because you could go and look at what the Raiders defense looked like, and then you got to consider the players they had. Then you got to consider the competition they played. So I think it's better to take a nice chunk of period of time if you're going to do that. Go back and look at what the Raiders defense looked at during the period of time that Patrick Graham was there, opposed to going year by year, because again, it can be very difficult to figure out what it is that you even have if you do go that route. But Mike, again, we are full. This was the next step. We said after we got a new head coach, the next step is filling this coaching staff as we move forward, and things are changing in a new time for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So 25 coaches employed, Mike. That step is out of the way. Of course, again, we have things coming up down the pike. We have the Combine here in Indianapolis at the end of the month. We have free agency starting in less than a month from now. Mike, we have the draft in about 70 days from now here in Pittsburgh. So much stuff. And then after you get your draft out of the way, you have rookie camps, you have OTAs, you have so many different things. So, Mike, is where this Steelers team is in history right now. This potentially, as I've been saying for about 6 weeks now, can be the biggest, one of the biggest for sure, certainly in my lifetime, biggest offseason in Pittsburgh Steeler history in regards of the direction you're seeing this team going, at least for the next 5 years, Mike, at least for the next 5 years, maybe beyond. A lot of things are going to change. What we're going to see on that field this year should be pretty different from what we've seen on this field last year.
I'm looking for a completely different offense, completely different defense, even though the defense will still run out of a base 3-4. But like we say all the time on the show, they barely run out of base anyway. So it's going to be interesting to see how Graham employs all the talent that we have on defense. I want to see on the offense side of the ball how are they going to mix in the run, the pass, the play action that Mike McCarthy wants to use. I know that was like a big talking point too with Artie Smith when he was here, using the play action. We did it, but I think we could have done it a whole hell of a lot more. I want to see if there's a more commitment to the running game to open up the pass game. I just can't wait for preseason now to see what this coaching staff's going to do with the personnel that we have. I want to get a sense of their offensive philosophy and defensive philosophy. You can get a hint of it from looking at their track record in the past McCarthy-led teams, but you got to adjust your style of play to the roster that you have, and that's going to be the next big step. Is what's the roster going to look like now? Now we got the coaching staff. We kind of know who's going to be here. I get Watt will be back. I have a feeling Kane will be back. All the typical names and faces will be here, but those fringe guys that round out your roster, who's going to be here? And I want to see what the coaching staff does with those guys. That when they're working with Colin and Weedle, like who we want to keep, who do we want to bring in. We have half the puzzle. Now we got to get the rest of the puzzle finished to get the full picture of what's going on with the Stellars.
Mike, we're going to talk, of course, everything that you just said, very important, very vital to what's going on right now. And I do want to say we are going to talk free agents today because, again, you were talking about putting a lot of pieces in places and puzzles to make this thing work out. Mike, this is what I found this yesterday on social media. This is the top players being paid, and this is the amount of money that they're being paid, Mike. And this is we're going to get an idea of who we might want to keep, we might not want to keep around. Just let me go through this list real quick. Again, we're going to stay on the coaches here for a few minutes, but TJ Watt, of course, Mike, is 2026 cash. 2026 cash is $32 million. DK Metcalf's 2026 cash is $25 million. Third highest paid, Mike, Jalen Ramsey, 2026 cash, $19.5 million. Alex Smith, $14.5 million. Cam Hayward, $14.25 million. Patrick Queen, $13 million. We'll talk about those guys in just a second, as they are the big gain, the big earners, Mike, and see where we can be without them, with them. What might be the next move regarding these players? The following four just drop under the double-digit millions. Pat Fryermuth is a $9.1 million 2026 cash. Jonnu Smith, $7 million. Jalen Warren, $5 million, and Malik Harrison, Mike, $4.7 million. These are your top cash earners in 2026 on the roster right now heading into it. Mike, free agent-wise, which players can you realistically see not being on the Steelers this year to where we could make good use of some of that money elsewhere. Let me go. Actually, well, let me go through the names and you can just give me your opinion. How's that sound?
Yeah, we can do it like that.
Let's start from the bottom. I'm going to go with Malik Harrison. Malik Harrison's making $4.7 million. That kind of falls into a comfortable area for him, in my opinion. I think keeping him around on that amount of money is not a killer. And even if you swap him out and pay another linebacker typically the same amount of money, unless it's a Landon Roberts, Mike, or somebody that we know close to the system that we could know that you could plug and play, I would be I'm fine with this Malik Harrison, Mike. Again, $4.7 million. It's not breaking the bank. He's not fantastic, but again, for what he is, do you think we could go lower than that, or are you happy with Malik Harrison coming in with the 4.7 on a 2026 cash?
Right now, I'm in favor of releasing him and seeing what you can find out there. And I have a feeling they might be drafting a linebacker within the first 3 picks.
All right. Interesting. Let me do
our first 3 rounds. Yeah.
All right. Jaylen Warren, Mike, $5 million. I think there's nothing that could go on without Jaylen Warren on this team, especially KG being kind of in demand in free agency. Mike, $5 million for Jaylen Warren, I think is nothing.
Oh yeah, that's you take that all day, every day with Jaylen. The production you get from Jaylen Warren, yeah, he's not going anywhere. He's staying right here in Pittsburgh.
Rightfully so. Next on the list, Mike, $7 million, making more than Jaylen Warren. Mike, this person made more than Jaylen Warren, or is due to make more than Jaylen Warren, with $7 million. Jonnu Smith. Is there any way Jonnu Smith is on this offense when we kick the ball off in September?
No. I have a feeling he is gone.
I think his lack of production, I think, spoke volumes, Mike. And it wasn't that he didn't get opportunities. I just wanted so much. I tell you what, I would have been happy with a little bit more from him. Yeah. I feel that we got next to nothing for Jonnu. I'm okay with him being out the door.
Yeah, I mean, to him gone to it. I have a feeling like when the coaching staff and the training staff turn on the film and you see the lack of explosiveness from him from last year to this year, like this is someone like he looks like he hit the wall. Like you just all of a sudden like you have it and then you don't. He looks like he did not have it at all. It would be different if he was just a little lost, but still had that speed and explosiveness that we saw in the previous year. He didn't have the awareness or any of the athletic ability that we saw from him from the previous year in Miami.
Tard timeout. Mike, this is the latest comment by Tater Tart again. Our resident Brown commenter says this: dogs, yous pay a lot of shit players a lot of money. This is from a Browns fan.
Hold on.
Let that sink in. He says, you guys pay a lot of shit players a lot of money. This is a Browns fan. One more time. Aren't they paying half the quarterbacks in the league right now?
Okay, so you want to talk about you guys are negative 19.5 billion under the salary cap. You're paying this year alone Deshaun Watson $80 million. You're paying him $80 million on the cap it. Now let's go down to now we're down into dead cap. You're paying Delvin Tomlinson $20 million. You're paying Juan Thornhill $5.5 million. You're paying Ogunbonu Okonoroko, sorry, bro, if I butchered your name. I know I did. You're paying him $4.75 million. You're paying Joe Flacco $1.4 million.
Joe Flacco could be playing for us next year. I mean, I hope not, but it's the fact of the matter.
This is
Tater could be paying Joe Flacco to play for us.
Yeah,
I like it. But I'm not on that train. I'm not Tater. Joe Flacco.
Just you might want to sit this one out, bro. That's all I'm saying. You might want to sit this one out.
All right, let's get through. Mike, we're gonna get through the rest of this list. And
you're paying Jerry Jeudy $10.3 million.
We have to get through this because we got to get back to the terrible board. It's necessary as so much creativity is coming up on the board today. I don't want to miss a single moment of it. Mike, let's get to the next name on the list. Making the last person making under double-digit millions. Mike, Pat Freiermuth at $9 million. I think if go ahead, give me your opinion on that.
Yeah, he's staying there. I don't think they're gonna get rid of him. I think this new offensive coaching staff is going to utilize him the way he was used the first 2 years of his career that we saw here. I have a feeling he's going to have a bounce back year, so to speak.
Let's get to these double digit million earners, Mike. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Patrick Queen is next on the list at $13.3 million. What happens with Patrick Queen, Mike?
I think he's released.
Do you really?
I think so. I think they're looking free agency in the draft for some new linebackers.
Let me scoot up to Cam Hayward, Mike. Again, Cam is 14.2 million. Go ahead.
I think he stays.
I do too. I just think because he's Cam and he's probably going to be able to nickel and dime this shit till he's ready to walk away. And again, I just think that's where we are with Cam, Mike.
I think so too. And if they don't add any years to his contract, like I said, maybe like rework it to give him a little, bonuses along the way. His contract being on the books and the production that you can get from him, it's not cap prohibitive. So that's why he stays.
Mike, between TJ Watt and Cam Hayward, we're $46,250,000. $46,250,000 is what it is between them two. That's a lot of money for a couple of guys who aren't exactly young, I guess you could say. But again, we'll get into that so much more as we do move on.
Yeah.
Let's move to the next person on the list, Mike. Jalen Ramsey to $19.5 million. I think Jalen Ramsey's here at least for another season. Again, I think like he could be very valuable, especially if the defense is running properly and things are running differently than they did last year. I think Jalen Ramsey is uber valuable. You've seen him just some of the things. The guy has great veteran insight. He does. I mean, there's certain plays you see him stripping. I remember early in the season, the guy was laying on the ground near the sideline, and Jalen ripped the ball out and took it back for a touchdown. Then ended up getting called back because the dude's foot was on. He's always sharp. He's sharp. I like J Ram. I'd like him back for another season, Mike, as long as I said, everything is running nice and he can do what they need him to do back there, or just kind of let him do what he does.
Yeah, and by releasing him, you're saving minimal against the cap. So
absolutely,
you're going to keep him, and he's going to play safety. At this point, I think he knows he's going to play safety, and I think this new staff is going to have him play safety. There might be something they work around, like with the contract, convert money to this, extend that, but make it more or less a 1-year deal with a voidable at the end. He's going to be here because to release him, you're literally saving $3 million. You might as well just keep him.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he brings there's value he brings to the table. I really do think that. Yeah. I tell you what, he's going to go somewhere else and he's going to do just fine if he's not here. And we're going to be like, oh damn, look at J-Ram making big plays. Yeah. The guy still has it. Again, he falls in the category that we talk about often about this just becoming an older team by average. But again, at the end of the day, I think he'd be one. Certainly, I'd like to see another season of Jalen Ramsey, guys. Let's do move. These are the top 3 highest paid players, Mike, from 2026 cash coming up. Alex Highsmith, Mike, at he's at 14.5. For whatever reason, they have him listed above Ramsey, but he is only at 14.5 million. Mike, Alex Highsmith, how you with Alex? If he's healthy, I'm just. I want
him here. The contract's not that bad. Again, he's one of those guys you release them, like the dead cap space. It's almost, I think you get like half cap relief with him by releasing him, but keep him for another year, maybe like Ramsey, a contract, working some numbers around, making it a 2-year deal, but really like a 3-year deal, but really a 2-year deal by moving money around and making voidable and shit. Keep him around because him, Watt, and Herbig have yet to really be healthy at all the same time. So you need all those guys right now. So I say keep them this year. Then next year you have that difficult conversation of moving on or not.
Mike, our number one wide receiver on this team is DK Metcalf. He's making $25 million, which is ballpark for your number one wide receiver. Probably, a little lower than the high end. Mike, are you satisfied with what we have at the number one wide receiver position at the money that we are paying? I know DK is going to be here. What's your thoughts on him and the money he's due to be paid in 2026?
His stats from last year and the year before and the year before that, they're all kind of in line. So if he keeps that production, okay, fine, keep him. But because again, like if you cut him, the dead cap space $49 million. Yeah. So we're definitely losing money by cutting him. So we're not going to do that.
Let me ask you this.
It's all going to depend on what they do next to him, like who wide receiver 2 and
absolutely
wide receiver 3 are, who the quarterback is, the way the offense
And
is
I want to
going to
be
go.
honest with you, Mike, just to cut you off real quick. Okay, so he did drop. He drops passes every now and then.
Yeah, we knew that
sometimes
coming
in important game situations. Of course, it didn't make us lose the Houston game. I mean, we got blown out. But at the end of the day, if it wasn't for the incident in Detroit, Mike, would you be happy with DK's first season here? Because at the end of the day, I mean,
he was on track statistically wise to have a more or less a better year this year than he did in Seattle.
that's what I'm saying. So again,
and you figure he had what old man Rodgers here. He had finally calling back that his career is over. Geno Smith. So yeah, the quarterbacks that he's had the past couple of years have not been the greatest.
and as John's saying right now on the board, John says DK just needs a better supporting cast. Again, if you have nobody else in the wide receiver room, it's hard to have success as DK.
And you saw what happened with Jetta up in Minnesota. He went from Sam Darnold to JJ McCarthy, and the production dropped. Did his talent level all of a sudden go away? No, it's the quarterback, the cast around him, the offensive game plan. It's a lot of things go into receiver stats. So I'm right there with John. It's going to be about the supporting cast. Is that going to make DK worth the money that you're going to get for him?
All right, now one more. Anybody besides Tater, go put earmuffs on Lindsay. We're going to talk about TJ Watt for a moment. TJ Watt coming in, Mike, with $32 million in 2026 cash. There's not much you're going to be able to do at this point. It is what it is. TJ Watt will be here. TJ Watt will be making his money. Mike, do you predict TJ Watt gets more than the 7 sacks that he had last year? Do you think he's going to be available more than the 14 games in its entirety, with him missing the 3 games with his injury late in the year with the needle? Mike, is this season going to be more productive wise for TJ Watt than it was last year to even be in the ballpark for that $32 million to be money well spent?
Wow. There's a lot of factors that go into this. Like how is he going to be deployed in the new defensive scheme?
Absolutely.
Is he willing to move around and do the things that are potentially going to be asked of him? He's lost a step. You can see he's not as explosive as he once was, and that was his bread and butter. Now, if he's willing to change the way he approaches the game and being a more complete linebacker, if not just trying to get to the quarterback, I think he can have an overall better season. Even if like the sacks stay at 7 sacks, but he's a more productive player, more of dropping into coverage, confusing quarterbacks, being better at containing the run, it'll be money well spent, because teams still kind of worry about him, because you never know, is this the play he's going to break out of it? Is this the game he's going to break out of it? And as long as he's good enough, they'll be fine. But I didn't like the contract when it was signed. I don't like it now, but you cut him, that's $92 million in dead cap space. You're not doing that. He's here for the next 3 years.
All right, let's get back to the board, Mike. Again, today, we before we head off to our winter vacation, guys, we'll be off until the 23rd. We'll be back not Monday, but the following Monday. Today, we're throwing up funny ideas on the board for titles for possible new names of the show here on the network. My early example was this: Tater from the Great Britain, from what is it? The United Kingdom, and Derpy, of course, and we would call it the Brit and the Tit. So that is an example. Let's see what some people have up on the terrible board. Mike Tortilla says 2.5 Dum Yinzers. I do like that. 2.5 Dum Yinzers.
We just need to find the half.
Derpy.
No.
He's a half.
No. I've been trying to fire Derpy since he got hired.
Tyrone says JPJ and the Tyrone Show. I like that. I like that a lot. Chad says this. He says Cooper DeG might as well play a role for a new 40-year-old virgin, since he's dating a 42-year-old Nikki Bella. Oh, she's 42 already. My God,
we're getting old.
Well, she was one of the Bella
I know.
twins. My God. Mark Malone says, Big Daddy McCarthy took a hometown discount to come home to the Steelers. Hey, Ralph, what's up, dude? Always great seeing Ralph Williams on the terrible board. He says, hey, Mike and Ryan, what's going on? Scoot up here to Tortilla. Tortilla says, we got more staff than Gandalf. Tater says, the Couchbusters romantic comedy. Couchbusters, the romantic comedy. Who is in that? Who's in that, Tater? I'd like to know. Ralph Williams says, more staff than what Tomlin had. Mark Malone says the Junies probably only allocate so much funds for the coaching staff. Let's go here. Tortilla says, Living in Cleveland, the horror movie. Living in Cleveland, the horror movie. I do like that as well. Steel Loyal says, McPittsburgh. Tater says, Schittsburg, a warning from a history educational documentary. RB says, Midsummer have a game show for the board. Take close-up photos of Derpy's bed sores and heat rash and Google photos of herpes. Flash one. We have to guess if it's Derpy's or herpes. That RB, that's right now. I got to be honest with you guys. That is front runner right now. He took the lead. With Derpy's or herpes. And I'm not going to say listen, these are all excellent. These are all A's. But I got to be honest with you, Mike, that might have set the bar. Derpy's or herpes. Just at this point, I'm not saying it won. I'm just saying, guys, it certainly moved the bar a little bit. Let's go to Steel Loyal. He says the Britain Brown Beans. Let's see. Lindsay says, yes, educational on how to play winning football. Let's go to Ty. He says, Tater, the Cleveland Clowns, and the couches and dreams. John Steeler Freak says this from Las Vegas. He says, A Tale of Two Titties, narrated by Derpy. See, that's good too. They're fantastic.
Oh no, we can have Derpy's titties, and we can have like the mouse moving on his titties. Each one talks in a different voice.
Wait, what?
When Derpy has to read Tale of Two Titties, and like each nipple will be like a different mouth, and each mouth will have a different voice.
That's really creepy, man. But all right. You know what?
This is what goes through my head.
I know, and that's why I just blow by you most of the time. I'm just teasing. But let's do scoot on and see what else is being said, Mike. Still Loyal says beans and toast and the Browns roast. Beans and toast and the Browns roast. Tyrone says guys getting cut and reconstruct for F's sake, of course. TC says, and Aliquippa, we wrote a book on knowing how to win games. It is in our genes. You know what I mean? They just insert it right into you in Aliquippa. There's no learning about it, man. You throw on that black and red and it's over. It's curtains, man. Tater says Doggies pays a lot of these shit players a lot of money. Tortilla, he says Moneyball 2, a movie about how Deshaun Watson got paid. The last massage.
Deshaun Watson.
Who
was the idiot kicker from
Tucker?
Baltimore? Yeah, Watson and Tucker.
Lindsay said the Browns pay a perv quarterback. How much? That's a good name. That is a good name. Let's scoot up to Ty. He says cut PQ, cut Harrison, cut Johnu. I agree. Now we're gonna get that in a second because I did catch a couple things, Mike, as you were commenting on it. We will get back to that briefly. Jagoff Smith is what John is calling Johnu Smith. Steel Loyal says Tater, you should have stayed quiet about the money. Yeah, you ain't kidding. Let's go to RB right here. He says this Lindsay, Jen, and Miss Pittsburgh need a show and a title. It'll like a play on Three Rivers, the Three Beavers, and have the logo of three beavers coming together in a scissor-like look to make one beaver. That's really good too, guys. Tyrone says you paying money to guide you. You're not even on the team. That's what Cleveland does. They do that, but that's what they do. They always what a disaster up in Cleveland. They always get the highest picks. They always F up their picks. They always pay them too much money, and then they leave, and then they still continue to pay them money. It's truly incredible and fascinating what goes on up in Northeast Ohio, Mike. It truly is fascinating. I can't never seem to get. I don't get it.
It's wild. Like it's stupid. Like if they cut him, like, and let's say they designate him a post June 1st cap cut. $80 million in dead cap space this year, $50 million in dead cap space next year. They are just they're screwed, man.
They're unbelievable.
Yeah. It's insane.
It's unbelievable what goes on.
And all that money is guaranteed.
You know, they love their football, but as far as business, they just don't they don't get it. They don't get it, Mike. Let's do scoot up here a little bit. I'm going to go to Rick. Rick says this. Wow, that Watson has that much left, as it were, on his contract. Wow. Ty says this. Please start the massage therapist. Tater says, please don't mention the Predator. Please don't mention the Predator. Steel Loyal says he's a Brown. He's your quarterback. At Tater. Cut. Okay. I see what you're saying. I guess the Predator would be Watson. Okay. Well, we're on the same page. Ty says cut PQ. Vegas says I just read Couchbusters is JD Vance's favorite move. His favorite movie. Vegas says they got to go. What's up, Vegas? Always great seeing you, my man. Still Loyal says J Ram at the big nickel. Steeler Freak says Queen is one of the top players with missed tackles. Why pay him? That is so true. He misses a lot of tackles. Patrick Queen does. Rick says, I agree. I think Firearm Youth has a chance this year to really start to earn that extension they gave him now that the Mike No-Go Middle Tomlin stepped away. Steel Loyal says, Chris Paul just retired. Ugh. I thought he's been done for a while, but that just shows you how long I've been really paying attention to what's going on over in the NBA. Steel Loyal says, my childhood. Mark Malone says, Ramsey saves $19.5 million if cut.
No, it's a $14 million dead cap hit penalty for this year if he's cut.
Ty says this Ram just needs like 3-5 reconstruct. RB says no way you can play free safety slot corner or pay. Gotcha. Free safety slot corner, $19.5 million. Tyrone says we're not cutting J Ram. Steel Loyal says reconstruct Ramsey's contract and move him to big nickel. Vegas says Blake. Now Blake Griffin. I mean, that's a dude that I loved watching. Chris Paul, I never got. He was just he was a point guard. He was a little smaller than everybody else. I never got the Chris Paul hype. But Blake Griffin was jumping over cars and he was truly amazing to watch. He says Blake Griffin called the popo on CP3. He was scared Chris was going to attack him in the locker room at Staples Center. Doesn't Chris Paul come through like his knees? But I tell you what, Blake Griffin certainly flew, man. I seen him jump over cars and slam dunk contests. I think even a minivan one time I seen. Tyrone says, I'm okay with paying J-Ram 16. For real, so $3 million cut, I'm cool with. Steel Loyal said CP3 is a savage, man. What was his brother? Didn't he have like they did one of them commercials where they created like a fake brother or a twin or a cousin or somebody, but it was really him. I don't recall what that name of that character was. I do remember that though. Let me scoot up just a hair. Right here, RB says anything over 12 million for a slot corner or a free safety is insane. Also, Mark Malone, Ramsey may be able to play nickel corner still. If he can't and is a free safety only, he may be worth $7-8 million a year. I think he's cut and re-signed. Steeler Freak says DK needs a better supporting cast. Again, we did bring up that cast yesterday, Mike. Take DK Metcalf out of it, which we did in the last 2 games of the regular season, and you are left with very little. Scotty Miller, Ben Skoranek, Calvin Austin III, and MVS.
Mm-hmm.
Who's my other receiver? I have another receiver I'm forgetting. Sorry. So let's a receiver that the Steelers are forgetting, the Roman Wilson as well.
Yeah.
Like they forgot him. It seems like anyway. Steel Loyal says we need to use DK for what he's good at: screens, back shoulder balls, and slants. And they certainly worked. I seen a couple big plays on the slants for sure this season, and on the back shoulder as well, guys. It would be nice again if we get that wide receiver room build up a little bit. Maybe we could start doing these things. Steel Loyal said he's not a 50-50 ball guy. That is one thing that we lost, I think, Mike. Even if he is slightly still at his age, I think when you get rid of George Pickens and go DK Metcalf, you certainly lose that 50-50 ball.
Yeah, that was never DK's strong suit, even though he is that big and that strong was the 50-50 balls. And you see it with some of those contested catches where, he's letting the ball come into him. We're not fighting through the receivers. And Pickens, for all of his some of his antics and stuff, he was great at those contested catches. He had a way of moving his body, shielding himself, or shielding the ball from the defender to make the plays, and that was his strong suit. It sucked to see him go, but it is what it is. DK though, you hit him on a slant, he's gone. You hit him in stride, he's gone. We got to work with him on.
Tyrone says DK will have a better year with McCarthy for real. RB says I'm with you. Mark Malone, Ramsey can't get more than 10 per. Aaron J, there he is. Here we go, Steelers with the Rockets. I can now head into the Mike. Even though it is Friday the 13th, even though this is episode 911 going into our winter break, Mike, I think that I'm going to be okay because I did get the Rocket message on the board.
All is well now that we have that. It's no joke. The one day. It didn't happen live. You were bummed a little bit.
I was a bit twitchy.
You were.
Jamal says that makes sense. Mark Malone says he can't just play on the outside without getting burnt anymore to RB. He says that too. Let me scoot right here. Tyrone says, yeah, J Ram ain't doing that. LOL. He's definitely going to get paid 13 to 16 a year.
Thing is that, like, real quick about the Ramsey and the safety contracts, Kyle Hampton's getting 25 mil a year. Ramsey's getting 17, and that would put him at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would make him the 7th highest paid safety in the NFL. So he would be right in line with a lot of the safeties in the NFL that can bring you production. So him making 17 mil being moved to safety, it actually falls in line with the current market for safeties in the NFL.
Let me move along here to Jamal says nope. Still Loyal says that's why you put Ramsey at big nickel. He ain't an outside corner anymore. Jamal says TJ is done, son. He's a that's a lot of money to pay a guy that got you 7 sacks in a whole season. That's all I got to say. I'll leave it there for now. RB says Mark Malone. Nope, I think he's effective as nickel-free safety, but you just can't pay over 10 million season for that. John says Lindsay has a AI TJ at her house. An AI TJ. Tyrone says this with better defensive coordinator and Elliott back there, he'll be all right. TC says JPJ needs Ramsey for support. Let's see, 90. Oh, the one-way ticket out of town. I think maybe this is what the RV is saying on that message. Tyrone says, I mean, JPJ will be fine, but they are definitely a good duo. Scoot up here a little bit. Tyrone says, I like the J-Ram leadership and toughness. He'll bounce back like Watt. Still loyal. The half is Ryan's beard. The half is Ryan's beard. I like that. Mark Malone says, Lord, let's go to Lindsay. TJ is staying. She says, hey, guys, no need to fret. TJ will be here. He'll be all right. Mark Malone says, Derpy's ass burns from Peach's strap on.
Oh.
That is a classic Mark Malone. I just have to say. That I didn't even have to look at the name when I read it. I knew it was Mark Malone, with his classic comments as always. Mark Tyrone says this TJ for life. Ty also says he'll bounce back for F's sake. Somber says, "Ayo, they just insert it into Aliquip in Aliquip I don't know." Mark Malone says I like it. The three beavers triangle. Let's see. Mark Malone also says it's like the fucking confluence, man. Vegas says this dude should call and thank his agent daily. Jamal says, hey, at Tyrone, I had a good time on the show yesterday. We got to do that again. Some more, bro. Negative Mike. Mark Malone, he does make another comment, Mike, about the contract. Let me get caught up to where it is. Mark Malone says, don't you bastards remember last year's articles about it? I think that is going back to who? Somebody's contract we were just talking about. Who did Mark Malone just bring up?
Was it Ramsey?
Ramsey. I think it was Ramsey. Also, let me go to Jamal. He says, yeah, I've never really been a big fan of CP3. I just never really seen anything special about him. I mean, he wasn't I don't know. I like high-flying guys. I like guys that, I don't know. That's just me, though. Jamal says this. Oh, yeah, CP3 twin was pretty fun. Cliff. That's right, Vegas. It was Cliff Paul. Yes. Yes. That was definitely what I was searching for. Vegas says in the stash. Somber says DK skips leg day. Still loyal, laugh my ass off. He skips calves day for sure. His thighs are tree trunks, but his calves are toothpicks. Somber, that's why he has no lateral agility. Sprinter legs, Somber saying, Mark Malone, personally, I draft a safety. Still loyal says, yep, strictly straight line speed. Steeler Freak says Ryan's beard pays taxes. Still loyal said his beard also has tiny people living in it. He charges for rent. That's how I pay the taxes.
Does.
That is true. Let's see. Yeah,
I was gonna say, with Mark Malone, I'm with you too on getting a safety. I've been messing around with mock drafts, like 3rd round. I've been looking at safeties. I think there's a lot of good quality safeties out there early in this draft. If we get one of them and pair them with Elliott and Ramsey back there.
What about Sebastian Castro? Don't we have a couple young safeties that on the shelf that we just literally drafted like last year? And
he was an undrafted guy. I want someone with some pedigree.
All right. Fair enough. Steeler Freak says Ryan's beard has its own social security number. Let's get into some things, guys. This is some scoop from around the league and the football world. Trinidad Chambliss, guys. Trinidad Chambliss is going to be heading back for his 6th year. We was reported earlier that Mike, was not going to be getting his 6th year of eligibility, but Trinidad Chambliss was granted his 6th year eligibility. You'll be able to catch him next year, Mike, in college football.
That's one less quarterback that we won't be have to talk about that will not be any factor in the NFL. I just not a big fan of him.
Okay, Somber, he corrected me. He says Castro is a strong safety anyway. We need a free, and Steel Loyal says I like Castro. Yeah, Mark Malone, he did. He got it overturned. He's got his 6th year of eligibility. He's heading back to the college ranks. Go ahead.
He's probably going to make more money this year than he would on a rookie deal anyway.
And he probably is. Dude's made a career out of being a college senior. Mike, let's do.
He's Van Wilder of the college quarterbacks.
Let's talk about some social media stuff that's been going on over the past couple of days. Mike, so Cam Hayward, this was cleared up. He had the book closing on his social media. A lot of people were speculating that it could possibly be to the end of his career. He came out and made it clear, Mike, it was not. It was just the closing of another season. So Cam Hayward is not throwing out cryptic messages that he may or may not be back regarding his future. That was to close the book on another season. Also in the social media world, did anybody catch this one yesterday? Rashard Mendenhall on X, a picture of himself. Mike, over top, he wrote "My hero."
I love it. You know what? That is great. Like Rashad, he's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yes, he really is.
Team black, team white, and now this one right here, my hero. You know what? I might start doing that now. Like just posting pictures of myself, my hero.
And everyone's jumping in. They're like, dude, how about the ball you fumbled away? And they're giving him hell the whole way down the thread. It's really funny. But yesterday on X, Tortilla says he's my hero too. Rashard Mendenhall, picture of himself, and the only thing written on it, right above him, my hero.
I love it.
Also going on in the NFL, Mike, arbitrator rules NFLPA's annual report cards cannot be made public anymore. We've talked about how bad the Steelers facility has been graded over the past 3 or 4 seasons. Mike, F's the whole way down. A lot of bad grades on what the Steelers have going on with their facilities. An arbitrator rules NFLPA's annual report cards cannot be made public anymore, Mike. So we lose that information. We won't be getting updated on the facilities and how poorly the Steelers, again, at the end of the day, it's hard to believe that we're already 25 years into the stadium as they got rid of Three River Stadium after 30 years. I still feel that Heinz Field, or Acrisure, as you may call it, is still relatively new. But at the end of the day, Mike, they continue to fail a lot of things, but we're not going to be hearing much about it heading forward.
No, my God, like you're a billionaire owner and you want to arbitrate over this because you don't want to be embarrassed by how cheap you are. Because this was all spearheaded by the Jets owner Woody Johnson, and like, come on now, like you're willing to, like what TJ Watt said. Oh, we can't grade the owners and have it come out, but yet we can pay a third party service PFF and grade every player and broadcast it out on every Monday night game. That's okay, but God forbid we hold the owners to the same level of accountability.
And then finally, Mike, this is on the NFL level, but this is about one of our Steelers, and you might remember this very well, actually. Kenneth Gainwell, touchdown catch against Detroit. Just stop for a minute and think of that.
Uh-huh.
That catch that was down the right sideline. He fell to the ground. He jumped up. He had the ball somehow, and he walked into the end zone. All right, so as long as we're fresh there, guys, Kenneth Gainwell's touchdown catch versus Detroit named a top 5 play of 2025. Mike, they gave the top 10. Kenneth Gainwell's catch in Detroit was number 5 out of 10.
I like it. I'm surprised it made it, but we'll take it.
It was pretty amazing how
It-
that ball ended in his possession, and for him to be smart enough to get up and you finish the play. There's
Yeah.
bodies. I can't remember what the exact situation was, but he could have very well been touched at some point. He wasn't. He got up, walked in the end zone, like number 5 out of the top 10 plays in the NFL.
And that one was just an audible on the fly. Aaron Rodgers out there doing his auto heart routes on Madden. Like, hey, Kenny, just go running up the sideline, and it worked perfectly. It was a great play.
And it is top 5, the 5th best play in the NFL this year. Mike, let's talk about some people that may or may not be coming to town. Of course, this one is just came out the other day. We talked about it briefly yesterday. We kind of passed over it, but Derek Carr will unretire under 2 conditions, Mike. Derek Carr says he'll unretire if he's healthy enough and he has to have a chance to win the Super Bowl. I don't like the idea of Derek Carr coming here at all. But at the end of the day, Mike, are we on his radar? Do we help finish the second part of his stipulations on maybe coming back if I'm healthy enough and if I'm on a team that has a chance? Mike, he wants to be on a competitive team. Let's not talk about if we like him, if we want him here. Do we fall into the category of somebody that he would be interested in based on his stipulations?
As the roster's currently constructed, no. For that Super Bowl part, because I don't think
safe. We're safe then.
We're safe from Derek Carr. Thank fucking Christ.
Also, Mike, Christian Kuntz has been lobbying for a Landon Roberts. He said he's one of the better teammates he's ever had. Mike, does Landon Roberts fill a hole for something that we might be missing on the inside linebacker position? Of course, when we talked about Patrick Queen and his league-leading missing tackles, and Peyton Wilson being, uberly athletic, but just kind of not making that sophomore jump, I don't think. Mike, does Landon Roberts fit anywhere in the scheme? Could he be an improvement, or is he maybe a little past his prime again? I had no problem when he was here. I thought he was a thumper. He always had his nose on the ball. Mike, Christian Kuntz lobbying for Landon Roberts, of course. Can he fix any problems that the Steelers have?
I think he could be a surefire thumper in the middle of the defense. Just by looking at stats, look like he had a pretty good run this year in Vegas. I didn't see any film of him, so I'm going to base it off the last time we saw him in Pittsburgh. I thought he still had a couple years left in him. So cut Malik Harrison, bring him back in, draft a linebacker, see who else is available in free agency or trade. Yeah, I'm definitely bringing him back. And he's not going to be an every down linebacker, but there's still a role for that hard-hitting, run-stuffing linebacker. Give me some Landon Roberts. I like him.
I was a fan. As a matter of fact, I thought he was very solid. He's solid in the way that Robert Spillane was. And these guys, we kind of keep letting go as time goes on. And you continue to see them be productive everywhere they land. So I've never had a problem with the Landon Roberts. Again, I think he can maybe temporarily be part of a fix for something going on in the middle. Yeah. But Mike, again, with draft, free agency, a lot of things going on, you never know what's going to happen. Again, less than a month, guys. We're already in the free agency. And again, in just 70 days or so, give or take, we have the draft. So a lot of things will be decided. But we do know that Christian Kuntz does like having a Landon Roberts. Mike, as he said, he's one of the better teammates he's ever had.
I'd take him back. And I got the thought process of, hey, we're going to get younger. We're going to let Landon Roberts go, get Malik Harrison, see if he can fill that role. He's younger. It just didn't work out. This was the time we should have kept the older guy instead of the young guy.
All right, we're going to get into now. Let's talk about quarterbacks for just a couple minutes because I have a little scoop and a little suggestion, if you will. Mike, we'll start with the suggestion. Ryan Clark, Mike, he says this Malik Willis could be the Steelers quarterback of the next decade. Mike, is this in the cards for the Steelers? Now, I hear Malik Willis. I hear, there's people that love the idea. There's people that like the idea. There's people that don't want him here. There's people that think that the sizes we saw were small sample sizes of what he was able to do. Mike, is Ryan Clark, is he on anything? Could Malik Willis be the guy of the franchise, the face of this franchise moving forward? And again, with other options on the table, which I'm going to get to the very next comment we're going to talk about. But Mike, Malik Willis, is there, can he be the Pittsburgh Steelers face of this franchise for the next 5 years? Let's call it 5.
I don't know, to be honest with you. I've seen improvements ever since he left Tennessee and went to Green Bay. He's a completely different quarterback. You know, the way he plays, his mechanics is so much better. But that system they have in Green Bay, that offensive system, or would we run something similar to it to give him those nice looks that he can find there, tailor the offense to what he can do? I don't know. Um I just guys that have that small sample size, but you've seen some big growth. I'm hesitant of trying to give them a lot of money and then go out and prove it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
If he had, if say if Love went down for 8 games and he played those 8 games the way he played these three or 4 games that he played,
Yeah.
that's a bigger sample size. And go, okay, there we're seeing something here. He's doing it consistently. 3 games, that's so small. It's kind of reminds me of the quarterback that was what on the Texans or whatever, had a couple good games and went somewhere else and made a shit ton of money. We saw this with guys up in New England go win a handful of games, go somewhere, have a shit ton of money, and then not do anything. It's giving me that kind of
Is
vibes.
it giving you
You know,
Kenny Pickett vibes? Again, small samples. He did very well in the small situation, but then he came along. He never really he never really turned into the player, kind of like you're saying how Malik, he had small sample sizes, and then you're going to kind of wait to see if he could continue
yeah.
is it kind of similar with Kenny? In a way,
I
I
don't.
guess.
In a
Not,
way, it
yeah,
can be, but I from what we saw from Kenny, I think Malik Willis, excuse me, has we've seen him getting better and better every
yeah,
time we've seen him, from definitely from when he was drafted to now. He's a completely different player.
absolutely.
But there are reports of like getting $100 million contract. I'm not doing that right now with Malik Willis.
No.
For me, you give him the average starting salary for 2 years and see if you can prove it for me. Then we'll talk a big contract. I'm very hesitant of any sport giving someone a lot of money on a small sample size of success, because you never know, is it they're only that good because it's only that much that they're being used. You know, you see this all the
Yeah.
time when guys get expanded roles, the production drops. And is he going to be one of those guys or not? If you want to take a chance on him, go take a chance on him. I have any team, even if the Steelers do it, if you identify him as your guy, go and do it and commit to it. You have to commit to it and continue that development. Go do it. If you think it's your guy, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it works, awesome. But you can't be halfway in, halfway out with a guy like him.
And next, Mike, talking about quarterbacks, local media. Local media, I will give credit where credit is due. I'm just going to tell you that they made this comment, Mike. This very large man in Pittsburgh local sports media says this. He fully expects Aaron Rodgers to sign with the Steelers within the next month prior to free agency. Mike, this is the one that always puts the time limits on everything, and I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to.
12 days.
I don't want to smear anybody's name, but what I'm saying is, Mike, this very large local Pittsburgh sports guy did say these words. He says he fully expects Aaron Rodgers to sign with the Steelers within the next month before free agency. Mike, is there any does that hold any weight at all? Is that speculation? Again, throwing the time on it is always what gets me with this guy.
Yeah.
But again, at the end of the day, Mike, is there a chance, again, the Steelers want to get the situation taken care of? We got a new system. We got a new coach. We have a new, a little bit of everything. If Aaron Rodgers does come back, Mike, will it be in the next 30 days?
I'm going to assume yes, just based on the leaking of like stuff we've heard from the Steelers themselves of like, hey, we kind of told them our timeline of what we want done, and that's how we're going to base everything on. So I have a feeling before free agency they want to know who the quarterback's going to be, because if they're thinking, hey, we're going to go take a look at one of these quarterbacks in the draft or these free agents, we need to know who our quarterback's going to be.
Absolutely.
And if it's going to be Rodgers, cool, and building team around him for this year and for the quarterbacks coming down the pike that we're eventually going to have. And if it's not Aaron Rodgers, okay, we're going to go out and find a quarterback or run with the two that we have here in a draft pick, and then build the team appropriately through free agency. So they need to know.
I say
And
this year more than any other year, Mike,
oh
because
yeah,
again, with the new coaches, they want to do what they want to do. With Coach T, he kind of had an idea what was going on. This is my team. I've been doing this for a while, so he was more comfortable with, I think, giving that
yeah,
little bit extra time because he knew what his parameters were. He knew what his options were. Where I think with this new coaching staff, they are going to be a little bit more. All right, let's go. Let us know what's going
yeah.
on. We have free agency coming up in a month. We have the draft coming up in just 70 days. So to me, it seems like it could be a vital decision, Mike, that should be made or certainly being figured out between the parties before free agency. So again, this very large person here in Pittsburgh that made these this timing, this time frame for this decision to be made, Mike, he's saying to be done before free agency, which is less than a month from right now. So we may know, guys, here this early in the offseason, who the quarterback is going to be moving forward. A lot of opinions on the matter. Why are you bringing back a 43-year-old guy? You have a Will Howard. Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? Are you going to draft a quarterback? You got this guy coming out of college. So again, Mike, just 1 month from now, we may know who the quarterback on this team is going to be. That's going to answer a lot of questions for folks. Now, does that change anything for you in a sense of how do you feel this thing is going to play out ultimately? Again, we finished 10-7 last year with him at quarterback. We had the team that we had. Again, we made a whole lot of coaching changes. We switched out the whole the coaching staff with the exception of like 2 or 3 guys. Mike, how much of a difference is Aaron Rodgers under center this year than Aaron Rodgers under center last year if he in fact does come back as the starting quarterback?
I don't know, because what we saw from him last year is what we saw from him the year before in New York, getting rid of the ball quick, a lot of checkdowns, and avoiding the middle of the field. Are we going to see that again now with the same head coach and the same offensive line and just a couple different wide receivers? I want to move on, whether it be a Will Howard, whether it be Mason Rudolph, a draft pick, a Malik Willis, a whoever in free agency or trade. I just move on and identify someone who can be your quarterback of the future. We've had placeholder quarterbacks ever since Ben retired.
Yeah.
We whiffed on the Kenny Pickett pick, thought like he would be the guy. And we've been ever since then been just getting placeholder quarterbacks while we build up a foundation of a team. Now we have more than a foundation of a team. This should be the year we're sprinkling in finishing touches to go and compete. But we don't have a quarterback, and that's still holding us back. And I'm sorry, Aaron Rodgers is not going to lead us to a promised land. He won some games last year, but those moments were few and far between. Like you said, man, the league isn't exactly kicking down the doors for this guy.
You're right.
He is what he is. He's a game manager at this point.
And then almost
that's
like
it.
Other people
There's nothing wrong with that, but that is what he is. We need someone who a little bit more than a game manager.
It seems like people were making their moves to get their guy, to get their franchise quarterback, to get their young quarterback. And here we are. We're still kicking the can down the road with the quarterback position. Well, there's not an ideal situation. Let's bring Aaron Rodgers in. All right. Well, and then another year goes by. People are getting their young quarterbacks, people's young quarterbacks that are making their way, and quarterbacks that are finally making a name for themselves, like the Sam Darnolds of the world. And here we are still, Mike, another year going by, kicking the can down the road. Well, let's bring Aaron Rodgers back. This can't be the answer. This can't be the result. This can't be the what we always come back to. Again, yes, he's going to help you win a few games because he does have certain abilities like that other guys may or may not have. But at the end of the day, I would rather learn to win. As I asked the question earlier, would you rather win this year or learn to win this year? And I think learning to win is so much more important for this Pittsburgh Steelers team because you're not going to get the promised land off of Aaron Rodgers' arm, and whatever is going to come down the road is going to be your next hope. So I would rather have the group of guys here learn how to win, meaning don't have Aaron Rodgers there to bail you out, in situations that he does bail you out in. Maybe you might take 2 less wins a season, but you learn to win. And in the big picture, I think that is so much more beneficial for this team is learning to win than to have Aaron bail you out every now and then, again, just to get an extra win or two in a season. I say put some of these guys in a position that they need to learn to win. And, and like I said, grow. Let this team grow finally instead of keep going to the bailout, Mike. In my opinion, learning to win is a big thing for the Steeler team. Hopefully, the new coaching staff they could bring it together and they could do that. But again, at the end of the day, when you sit back and you watch a game that's played by anybody else, let's say Mason Rudolph, you don't have the feeling that, oh my God, yeah, that Mason's there, we're going to win this football game. I want a quarterback, Mike, to where I feel comfortable week in, week out that we stand a chance in every game that we play. And I got to be honest with you, Mason Rudolph doesn't bring that to me. He's not, I don't say, yeah, all right, I like our chances. If we have to start Mason Rudolph in the playoffs in the second round because of an injury, I don't feel great about that. I want to get back to a time where, and again, I understand it's hard to get lightning in a bottle like Ben, but you got to I want to get back to a time where I feel like my team stands a chance every game, no matter who it is. Right now, it's really situational. Even with Aaron Rodgers at the end of the day, you still don't feel confident you're going to beat this team, this kind of team, and that kind of team. And so again, at the end of the day, would you rather win right now or learn to win right now? And I think when you peel back the layers, I would rather learn to win because this is so much more than just the season ahead, Mike. And as we said, we're at a new beginning. Why not take advantage in its entirety and learn to win as a team? Because again, this team is going to be here a lot longer than Aaron Rodgers is going to be here.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how I feel too. I just want to move on from Rodgers, move on from older quarterbacks. I don't want to take on reclamation projects either. You know what I mean? It's just that's the one position that's really, really, truly holding this team back.
And it would be the most.
And it is the hardest position to get too. It's not like these guys grow on trees,
right? And meanwhile, and again, and if you kind of look at the way we're doing things, all of our quarterback one money, what people are paying their the guys that are winning them games, play out, is on defense, getting 7 sacks last season. So again, Mike, you got to throw that in there as well.
Yeah,
that certainly didn't help.
Yep, and that's part of like that contract being signed. That's why I think like all these quarterbacks in college that kind of regressed or didn't progress as we thought they would and didn't declare for the draft, everything was pointing to this was the year to get your quarterback, because you signed those guys to those big money contracts. You get a rookie on a 4 to 5 year rookie contract at quarterback. That's how you win. That's how you build teams now, is load up, get that young quarterback to get you to get to the Super Bowl. They signed their second contract that's a little bit high but still team friendly, and you're able to build for one more run and then you move on. And that's kind of how this team has been building for a while now. And big old wrench in the plan is these quarterbacks in college this year not being up to snuff to come in and be worthy of trading up a bunch of picks to get this guy.
I think what we're going to do, Mike, let's jump back on the terrible board. It is about the time as we're rounding third-ish, give or take, on the show. Let's get back on the board, though. Again, a lot of good stuff that's coming and going. I'm seeing it as we're talking. Mike, I don't want to miss out on anybody. Let's jump on right here. I'm going to go where Mark Malone says good for him, talking about Trinidad Chambliss. Let's go to Tortilla. He says these quarterbacks don't want it. Somber says, oh man, here we go. TC, Valentine's Day is for men. We're giving the gift that keeps on giving. Still Loyal says closing the book on my season. That was the message that Cam was placing there with that post. John says this: if the Steelers win a playoff game next year, will Ryan shave? I will. Listen, I'm not shaving ever again until the Steelers win a playoff game. So I'll be Rip Van Winkle before this is all said and done. Steel Loyal says, damn troll. Let's scoot up a little bit more here to Tortilla. He says he's my hero too, talking about Rashard Mendenhall. Of course, Steel Loyal says that beard is solid. It'll break the Clippers. It'll break the Clippers. Steel Loyal says this: we know our facilities suck. Tyrone says like and subscribe. Thank you, sir. We appreciate that. Somber, how do you go from it being public to not being public? That just makes it seem like they're trying to hide. That's the thing is they don't have to release that to us. I think we kind of got spoiled because they were, and we were able to have access to that information. But at the end of the day, they could, it's all within their union, the NFLPA. They could decide if they want that to be exposed or not. Jamal says hit the like button. Thank you, sir. We appreciate that as always, man. Greatly appreciated. Steel Loyal says my old high school has a nicer facility. I got to be honest with you. There's some very nice high school facilities around here.
There are.
I've seen a few myself that I was damn impressed with. Let's go to Steeler Freak John says this: they need SoFi like complex outside of Pittsburgh. That thing kicks ass. Lindsay says, so does that's who I was referring to. Lindsay, as a matter of fact, that school that you're talking about is one of the most amazing thing. The gym for the basketball team alone is unbelievable. Where you're talking about. Somber says, yep, number 3. Jamal says should be number 1. Mark Malone, best hands on the team. Let's scoot up a little bit more right here. Number 3 in the top 100 catches. Talking about, of course, Kenneth Gainwell's beautiful grab this year was number 5 overall in the NFL top plays, Mike. Out of the top 10, it was 5.
What's number 5? If we bring back Aaron Rodgers, we better bring back Kenny Gainwell.
Okay, right. Steel Oil says, A-Rod just said, yeah, run and go. They made it happen. RB says Chambliss will be to drizzling shits in the NFL.
Yeah, his play style was great for college, but in the pros it doesn't translate.
That's what some people don't realize sometimes. Sometimes the play style is perfect for college, but it just does not translate. Tim Tebow, a perfect example.
Exactly, yeah. Like, you know, these college coaches, man, they're all about what can you get for me. They don't give a fuck what you're going to do for your next coach in the pros. They're trying to keep their own job, make their own money. So we're going to do what we can for you here, and good luck on the next level. Whereas before, in the past, it used to be, what can I do to get you ready for the next level while helping me win at the same time?
John says, he said Super Bowl. He isn't coming to Pittsburgh. Speaking of Derek Carr, in the comments he made, let's go to Ty. Ty says Robert for linebacker 3 would be nice. I would be just fine with a Landon Roberts, especially because of the problems we've had on the inside with the linebackers over the past couple of years. Just hasn't been a real strong unit. And again, getting Patrick Queen and drafting Peyton Wilson, I expected it to be a little bit better for sure. Sommer says NCAA is going to appeal it. Yes, they are appealing Chambliss's the decision there, so we will certainly keep an eye on that. Hell no. Mark Malone says Sommer says I'm out on the one trick linebackers. No thanks. Love you, Rob, but no. John says this: Roberts carries a mean stick. He's good for Henry. He is good for Henry. Somber says, I mean, Pierre tackled Henry. You just have to know how to tackle. That's a good point. Let's do scoot up here too. John Steeler Freak says this. He says when Roberts gets a dead-on hit, my TV movie. You ain't kidding. The guy is that. I love me some E-Rob for sure. Somber says I don't know. You just have to ask. Just got to ask yourself if it's worth a roster spot to have a goal line linebacker. You know what, though? At the end of the day, until you're on that goal line situation and you think to yourself, my God, we need a goal line linebacker or we're not going to win this football game, I guess that's the only time it really matters, right?
It's either you bring him back or you invest more draft capital in beefing up that D-line so those big fuckers up front can eat up the guards and the tackle so they don't go through and get to the second level to allow Patrick Queen and Peyton Wilson to fly to the ball carrier.
Tyrone says, yeah, he says, I don't know, but for depth, I wouldn't hate it. John Steeler Freak says this: Roberts did a lot on special teams. More teams are going to back to the run dominate. Sommer says, I blame Arthur Smith for that, to be honest. Tyrone says, right, he played 3 games. LOL. Sommer, 6th line, O-line worked so well together. The whole league started doing it. The 6th O-lineman. I see you got you on that one. You scoot up here. Tyrone says, maybe in Miami he'd be a good fit. Mark Malone said Bustin' Fields 2.0. He says, that is about, of course, Malik Willis. Steeler Freak John, he says, I think all the ACs had Tomlin handcuffs on, so hard to tell what they would have done with no guidance. It's hard to tell. I got you. Okay. Corey, what's up, dude? Always great seeing Corey Beavers. Don't drink that. He says, hey, fellas, what's going on with the quarterback situation? Well, right now, as far as we know, less than a month from now, we're going to know at least if Aaron Rodgers is going to be involved, according to some local Pittsburgh sports media. But again, that's just where we're at right now. And once we know that information, I think that we could then start to figure out a lot more moving forward. So again, we're kind of, it's agreement. Yes, it's an agreement. But at the end of the day, we're kind of at the mercy of Aaron Rodgers once again to see if we could improve or not. So these were reasons that I'm not a big fan of this Aaron Rodgers experience. But he will get you a couple extra wins because he does know things that younger quarterbacks don't know. So at the end of the day, do you want to win right now or do you want to learn to win right now? I think is the big question. Somber says this. So Pierce or I'm sorry, so Pierre shouldn't be paid with that logic. John says Mike would run these Steelers like a pimp herds hookers. I can see it. I can see it. And the lot lizards too, right, Mike?
Damn straight, man. I know how to keep them in line.
You know how to keep them lot lizards in line. Tyrone says Somber Steelers already almighty draft at 6 my time. Corey says we know you're talking about Fat Bully. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to do it. He can't
Not naming names.
Silver says this. I think I'm good on that. Not going to lie. They're going to draft. Their draft takes are pretty bad. Also, Jamal, he says, I'll take Rodgers back, I guess, but dang, just seems like more of this. Oh, same old. That's what I'm saying. This needs to continue to progress. It needs to continue to move in the right direction. You can't pass on a situation like this. Again, whether you loved, whether you didn't like, whether you were okay with, whatever your situation was with Mike Tomlin, you have to admit where we're at right now. We have to kind of take this change and do what we feel that we need to do to turn the direction of this ship. Again, whether you thought it was whether you thought it was average, but we couldn't win in the playoffs, or whatever the case is, I just think right now it would be a major. I think, Mike, I think we have to keep moving in the right direction. Again, if we keep kicking the can down the road, he hit it right on the head. It just feels like same old, and maybe the results will be the exact same. So what can we do to change things? Now's the time. Now's the time to figure that out. John says Mark Kabasi. Just the quarterback part. Tyrone says. Jamal says let's not know and judge off preseason. Good point. Somber says RB takes running back takes weren't great either. Somber says also Tyrone says we ain't getting running back, to be honest, with this quarterback class so bad. Can't even blame him. John says we've seen Rodgers. The Steelers fans who were fooled last year should wake up. Rodgers isn't beating the best D's in the league anymore. The Seahawks would have packed his shit in the Super Bowl. I couldn't agree more. And you know what they say? Well, you only lost by 14 points the first time. You take away the Caleb Johnson muff up in the end zone, it would have been closer. But you know what? That team that played in February was a little bit more together than it was way back in September.
That defense was playing at an elite level in the Super Bowl. In that whole playoff run too, man. They were on fire.
One of the better defensive runs I've seen in this in this century, Mike. Early on, you had the Ravens, and then you had Tampa Bay. A couple other nice ones in there, but Mike, this Seattle defense certainly did a number in the Super Bowl. Very impressive what they were able to do.
They were damn impressive.
Ty says this. I don't know. I'll check it out. I think they did too. So far, we'll see. Jamal, he agrees with you, Mike. Also, Somber says, I don't know about Mason. Hold up, LOL. Mark Malone says this. You know already if A-Rod is coming back, they're just effing with people. You're probably right.
You're
probably right.
Mark Malone, I hate to think it, but you know.
Mark Malone says, call me crazy, but I'm pretty sure A-Rod is still better than Darnold. Let's do scoot up to John. John says, why do other teams build faster than the Steelers? Always. That's a good. You know what? Here's the thing, John. People might say it was the way Coach ran things. So again, we're going to have a lot of those questions answered. A lot of people said, "Oh, if it wasn't for Tomlin, this would be better." If Tomlin, so we're going to start to see. We'll keep those receipts, and we keep them both ways. So if it's good, if it gets better and things improve, then we can say, okay, well, maybe this was something that Tom was doing different, or other things could stay the exact same. And things that we could be complaining about all these years saying that was Coach T might not end up being Coach T. Maybe it's owners, maybe it's GM, maybe whatever. But we will certainly keep on top of that to just keep track of what is what. Ty says A-Rod would have done better if you give him a real wide receiver core. I agree. And, if he would have got better blocking and better wide receivers, but at the end of the day, that just makes us a better team overall. So maybe we'd be okay with the younger quarterback if we would have had a better wide receiver room, a better, offensive line performing better. Let's do scoot up here. Also, Ty says, I don't want him back, but I would be cool with it because let's be real, MVS, Adam Thielen, Calvin Austin III, Roman Wilson, please laugh my ass off. And you know what gets me about this Adam Thielen? Who cares if you're going to come back if Aaron Rodgers listen. He's like, if Aaron Rodgers comes back, I'll unretire. Well, nobody wants you.
Yeah.
We want young, productive receivers from the draft, maybe. I don't know. I don't know who's getting excited about this Adam Thielen news.
Yeah, I want like a Jordan Tyson, a Boston, you know.
In the prime of his career, he would have been nice, but at the end of the day,
Yeah.
it's time for Thielen to go home, just like some of these other guys.
Yeah.
Mark Malone says subtracting Tallman is worth at least 4 wins. Now that is learning to win. Jamal says facts. Tyrone says DK Dobbs draft 2. Now we're talking. Sommer says it comes down to Aaron Rodgers wanting to win now. Jamal says we need a better offensive line. We're at his mercy. Somber says, you know what, Mike, what do you think about this offensive line? Again, this year, it's another year played, another year under your belt. We're probably going to lose our left guard. How far is this offensive line away from being something that you're comfortable with, Mike? They started this project 4 years ago, bringing in Broderick Jones, saying we're going to build from the inside out. And how is that playing out, Mike? And then if you minus Isaac Seumalo, which we're probably going to lose, how far is this team? How far is this offensive line being from the offensive line that we ultimately want?
Really fucking close.
We're pretty close.
I think we're really close. And if the old line, Pat Myers, it was as bad as everyone says, and this is, we saw them get better as the season went on. We're going to see tremendous growth with the offensive line coaches we brought in. Then I think this line is really fucking close to taking it up to another level. Frazier has the potential to be an All-Pro. Fatano's looking like he's just going to be a stud on the right side. He's looking like he's going to be like, I don't want to say as good as, but pretty close to someone like Penny Sewell up in Detroit. So I'm liking this line. McCormick is a serviceable right guard. He's getting more consistent. I like him a lot. I like him better than a lot of people do. Left tackle is going to be a question mark, but
I mean, so
I think we're going to be. I think this line is really close because we were seeing improvement from Broderick Jones. Dylan Cook came in comfortable with those two to figure it out over there, especially with new coaching, and see if they can unlock something from those guys. But yeah, I'm comfortable with this line. I think they're ready to take a huge leap forward.
All right, let's jump back on the board. Ty says this. You know what? Hold on. Let me scoot down just a hair right here. Steeler Freak says this. Rodgers was ranked 23rd. Sam Darnold 7. Rodgers can't move, throw the long ball accurate consistently, and is a quick dink and dunk specialist, which is with one of the fastest releases in the NFL. Ty says this. He says, I agree with the moving part, but I think maybe better protection be better. Smoothies, I do want to say welcome to Smoothies. Welcome to the terrible board. Welcome to the show. Smoothie says this. Yeah, okay. Haha. Good luck with McCarthy. He sucked as a Cowboys head coach. I'm sure he isn't any different now. Steeler Freak says this. Protection can't help a statue. Interesting. Tyrone says this. McCarthy was 12-4 a few times. Dak blew it. LOL. Let's see.
Was it like Corey. 3 years in a row they won 12 games? That's
more than we've won in quite some time. Let's see. Corey says this. I want us to trade TJ for a third pick. Also, Ty says Steelers freak, give him a real wide receiver core. Then we'll see the deal. Somber says we need 3 wide receivers that can beat man in less than 3 seconds with Rodgers back there. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot really going off of Rodgers. And the thing is, we're not trying to build off of Rodgers. We should be learning to win. Get somebody in there that may possibly be the quarterback 2-3 years from now. Start with him now, get him in there. And again, we're not trying to accommodate Aaron Rodgers at the end of the day. We're trying to accommodate what's coming next. He is a Band-Aid. We can't forget that. Let's scoot forward here a little bit where Tyrone, he says, on average, yeah, but I like the line improvement. I know versus the Texans wasn't great, but good season overall. It was a passing grade, I think is what he's saying. John says this. I had this discussion last year with Rodgers hopefuls and wrote, time will tell, and it did. That will happen again. I will screenshot this chat for an exhibit later. Tyrone says, I ain't saying you're wrong. Let's go to Ty. Followed up by saying, just not going to lie, he had a terrible wide receiver core and still did average. Somber or maybe linebackers that can do it all. Just a thought. LOL. Kenneth, what's up, dude? Always great seeing Kenneth Jones on the terrible board. Kenneth, he says, hello, guys. Queen Wood missed the tackle 65% of the time. That I came into the day kind of kind of optimistic on Patrick Queen, but the terrible board's talking sense into me, Mike. He misses a lot of tackles, and that is so true. A lot.
He's
tackles.
very, very inconsistent. Like I said yesterday, you will have games where he's just a tackling machine, then others where he's whiffing on tackles.
Let's go to John. John says this: Queen let in missed tackles 15 weeks out of the year. He plays like a queen. Tyrone says Patrick Queen is a bum. Tortilla says I'd rather draft Ty Simpson and miss than keep Rodgers and stay stagnant. Do you think Ty Simpson is the right direction, Mike?
No.
Okay,
No, God, no. I just have a feeling that that's who we're going to take in the first round.
A lot of people are thinking that.
I hope not. Like he did not impress me.
Let's see. Bring Spillane back. I do want to say hello to BB Wheat 66. I want to say welcome to the terrible board. He says bring Spillane back. I like Spillane. Again, I'm a big proponent of getting the average age of the team down. But at the end of the day, if you look at older guys and veterans that you wouldn't mind coming back, and again as a depth role, I think Spillane or a Landon Roberts are nice. I would take either one of them back. That's just me. Okay, no tortillas. Tyrone says I ain't dealing with another Kenny. Tyrone says we'll get our quarterback in 2027. Kenneth Jones says, look at it like this. Kenny P, Mason, Justin, Russell, and Rodgers all got the same results, one and done. It's true. So that's what I'm saying. It's going to be interesting now with just a different system. Maybe things will be different. I don't know. It's going to be interesting, guys. Again, this is a turning point in our team's franchise. Let's go to Richard, my man, Richard Jankowski. What's up, brother? Always great seeing Richard. Name for a new show is Peaches and the Lot Lizard Vibes. I like it, Mike. Peaches and the Lot Lizard Vibes. I like it.
I'm down for it. I'll have a whole segment or a whole show just me and some hotties
and Derpy. Derpy's aunt. Let's go to Richard. Also says better blocking would have helped a lot last season. John says the Steelers are a plus 6,000 to win next year's Super Bowl 100 bet. Will get you $6,000. That should tell you something. Absolutely tells you everything. But at the end of the day, it's probably going to be correct. Tyrone says exactly. I want a young wide receiver. Tyrone says I want 3 of them. As a matter of fact, AR2, not Rodgers. Art Rooney. Gotcha on that, Somber. My fault, sir. Somber says left guard, left tackle, away from being a great offensive line. Consensus on McCormick is wishy-washy, but I think they like him. I think they do as well. And as Mike was answering, I really was thinking the same thing. The left side of the line is suspect. Whatever they decide they're going to do. And again, we have free agency less than a month away, Mike, and then also draft in about 70 days. So that left side of that line may be addressed in that period of time. We will see. But again, the left side of the line, Dylan Cook, Broderick Jones, who's it going to be? And again, Ciamalo more than likely might be leaving town. So that left side of the line will definitely be where the work is had as we do move forward with this group of guys. Steeler Freak says left tackle, left guard. Plus, they need better depth for injuries. Tortilla says no one knows if another Kenny, and I'm just saying we might as well try to get a guy instead of doing what we know doesn't work. I'd rather miss but take a shot than pass on it again off to the next year. It just at some point we have to make some kind of move, right? We can't continue this forever. I mean, again, it's just the same thing over and over. That's, I think, a point of a lot of what the problem was in the past. People were ready to let's see some change. Let's see something different. There's not a whole lot of variety, Mike. We've been sitting basically at this 9-8, 10-7, and again, that's not terrible. But at the end of the day, at some point, you'd like your team to compete and be competitive in January and have a chance for February. That's just kind of, I think, been a problem.
Yeah.
And I think changes just need to happen. We can't continue to do what we've been doing and hope for the best. There has to be something. Something's got to give.
Right? Something has to give, but I just don't want to reach on a quarterback because we saw that happen the last time we reached on a quarterback. It's setting us back, and just keep adding to the roster. So, like,
here's my thing, Mike.
If you have talent around there, you can just get a quarterback to just get the ball to them. We might be in the same spot, but the team will be getting better, and then eventually you will find your quarterback.
It really seems to me that the team is overthinking this quarterback thing. I got to be honest with you. If we're going to blame everything that's going on over the past 6 years on the Kenny Pickett decision, I think that's insane. Again, I mean, many veterans came here after the fact. Many we've had backups. We had this, we had that. Now we have Aaron Rodgers, and again, the results are basically always the same. So at some point, I mean, yes, I think it was a blunder, the Kenny Pickett draft pick. But at the end of the day, I think there should be and could be ways that this could ultimately be fixed. And we should not be dragging our ass into like the 6th year of the same problem at quarterback. Something has got to give. And it seems like they're really using Aaron to kind of get us from A to Z, and B through Y is just taking forever. To me, it just seems like, and again, something has got to give quarterback wise. And again, the next question was, okay, if we had all these quarterbacks and all these different players and all these different teams that got the same result, it's the coaching. So now we have a different coaching staff. Let's see if those things are still the problems. Let's see if those things get fixed. Let's see if they get addressed, and let's see if we could fix this problem again. And that could answer the people that said, well, Tomlin. Well, now he's not in that position, so we can't blame him. Mike, this quarterback situation has to do something at some point, Mike. I just don't know how much longer we can continue with this kicking of the can down the road. Shit or get off the pot at some point. If that's what you're wanting, if you're just so happy with being an average middle of the road team and keep going the way things are going, that stinks. Eventually, maybe you might have to take a hit. Maybe you might have to have a season where you lose 2 less games than you have been winning to get better. Maybe, so at the end of the day, Mike, I just don't know how much longer we could do this. We have to make some kind of move at quarterback. That's the most important position on your team. And here we are, another year going by where it's just more running in place. Nothing is really being decided or fixed. Go ahead, Mike.
I was going to say that, like, with the evaluation of the prospects in this draft class, don't overdraft a quarterback if you don't have to.
Well,
if you don't think Ty Simpson's any better than a Will Howard, if you think Will Howard would have been in this draft and would be in that range of those guys, you don't draft one of those guys.
What about a quarterback who might be
borderline? You go get a wide receiver
into a good quarterback where we kind of thought, we're not really developing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if they're looking at those guys and you're looking at their whole body of work and comparing it to you have on their roster, and you're projecting it out, and if you think they're going to be the same, don't waste a first round pick on them. Go get, if you see a wide receiver that you project to be like a top 15 wide receiver in the league within a year or two, you go and get that. I would get that guy and then develop the quarterback who's already on my roster. Or if you see a guy that could be there in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th round that's comparable to the guy that you have on the roster now and the guy that was taken in the 1st round, get that guy in the 3rd or 4th round. You know what I mean? Don't just go like, we got to get a quarterback in the 1st round and get him. And you really had like a 3rd or 4th round grade on him, but you took him in the 1st round because that's where we got to get him. Because I just don't see a lot of franchise quarterbacks in this draft, if any. I don't even think Mendoza is going to be a franchise quarterback, but he's going to go number 1 overall because he has the buzz about him. And there's always quarterbacks taken in the 1st would. So what
you're saying is there's no player coming out of college football this year that is worth picking as your quarterback.
I don't see any.
And that was the case last year.
As a guy that I would take. I don't see someone who has like the potential like a Caleb Williams has.
So or like yourself, a lot of people, Mike, they're just kind of waiting for the perfect storm to come, and you just don't know if it's ever going to happen. So at some point, we're just going to continue to play this game and not do anything because we want the perfect storm to fall into our lap. And again, it's very unlikely.
I don't want to miss out on a great player and get a project quarterback in the 1st round and hope he turns out. You know what I mean? Like, I would rather wait and take a project quarterback, and then if he doesn't turn out, my team is not fucked. I can go and get a free agent quarterback. I can go get a trade.
Well, your team has been up for years now. So, I mean, anything outside of what we're doing, I think could possibly be a step in the right direction. Because, again, if we sit around and wait to catch that lightning in the bottle, years are going to go by. And we're already seeing that. We were lucky land Ben. Nobody even knew what a Roethlisberger was back when he was being drafted. Eli Manning and certainly Phillip Rivers were the big names. So sometimes catching lightning in the bottle isn't something that you wait on. You just kind of make a move, and sometimes it works. And again, we're going on quite a few years now of the perfect situation not landing in our lap and not even being available for us. So again, at what point do you do anything? Again, do you still continue to stay still and keep that mindset and wait for the perfect storm? Or do you try to make something happen and hope that it doesn't turn out like a Kenny Pickett experience? Again, obviously, if this was an easy question, it would be resolved. Yeah. There's not an easy answer to it. No. There's 50,000 opinions, but at the end of the day, there's only about two or three teams in the NFL that's been able to figure it out right now. Yeah. And they're winning Super Bowls. And I'm not even going to say Seattle, but I'm talking your Patrick Mahomes and other guys who are that guy, if you're going to call them that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I just like, if you're doing your evaluations, if I'm the Steelers, if I'm doing my evaluation and I go through and like there's no quarterback based on their body of work, how I can develop a quarterback. There's nothing in them that on film that I see that I can turn them into a legit quarterback in this league that can lead this team to a Super Bowl. I'm not going to draft them. I'm not just going to draft a quarterback and say, hey, we drafted a quarterback. If I don't see anything in him that me and my coaching staff can't develop and turn into a
doesn't that say something about you and your coaching staff, though, if there's been years gone by and there's nobody that you could develop?
Well, this is a new coaching staff. So
I know, but obviously I'm talking about the experience that we just went through for 6 years.
But if they thought they had something that they can develop in Kenny Pickett, and
they couldn't.
Well, and multiple teams have found out that they can't do that.
Well, I don't care what anybody else do. I'm talking about, like, who are we developing? Yeah. Nobody. We're doing nothing. Do we need to do?
So doing something. That's just what I was trying to say. Is like. Mm-hmm. We see this guy. Here's his list of attributes. We don't think any of these are going to translate to the NFL. We don't see any type of growth and development coming from him. He's just going to be this type of player. I wouldn't draft him because now if I see a guy who's like, oh man,
but here's the thing.
I like the list of talent and I think we can get development out of it because we've seen that development. Then go get that guy.
Take the risk on Drake May. I know you didn't like him out of college. You wouldn't have taken him. He was just in the Super Bowl. You wouldn't have taken the guy that just won the Super Bowl. I was more of the Darnold guy.
I was a Darnold fan in college. Yeah.
But on the pros. So what you're saying basically, again, they have to do something. I'm going to leave it there just because of where we're at. We're at the 2-hour mark of the show. We do have to move along a little bit, guys, as it is coming on that time. I'm going to grab a few more messages. We're going to talk about a little bit. We're going to close the door on the everything that went on this week with our former Steelers getting into it on their own podcast as we get ready to wrap this week up, Mike, heading into the winter vacation of the show. Again, we'll be back not Monday, but the 23rd. We'll be back on the 23rd, guys, next Monday after our vacation. Taking a little rebooting time, if you will. Let's scoot up a little bit on the board, Mike. Again, I do apologize if I'm missing any messages today, guys. We appreciate them all, and we will read them all. But for the sake of the time, I am going to scoot up a little bit here on the terrible board, right here. John, just random pick. John says this: no rookie has won a ring. The Seahawks D just ass spanked the 2-year quarterback. And it's scooting on me. There we go. We're already out to 2028 beyond. Kenneth says this: throw noodles at the wall, but not with sauce and meatballs. Tortilla says, and I'm just impatient. Also, Tyrone says, but if Simpson they're 3-round, sure, why not? Otherwise, no. Somber need to solidify the line first, in my opinion. Mark Malone says we don't need to catch lightning in a bottle anymore. We've shed the Tomlin albatross. Also, Tortilla says we might not even be at 21. We will see. Also, Somber says before you put a high draft pick back there. Tyrone says, true, if Miami can't sign Willis, I can see them taking him at 12. Okay, gotcha. Lindsay says this: there's never a perfect situation, LOL, but I don't think they should just get a quarterback just to get one. And where does Will Howard play into all this? I mean, we obviously thought he was good enough to use a draft pick on it. It wasn't a high draft pick. We're going to be safe with him on his paycheck for quite a few years at least. Where does he fall into this whole conversation we just had, Mike?
I don't know. Like a developmental guy to see what you have with him. That's just how I'm seeing him right now. I know some evaluators thought like if you can get him in the mid rounds, you get great value, and he can come in and be a guy that can run an offense, be a quality NFL guy, but can he be enough to get you into a championship run? Yeah, I think he can run a pro style offense that's suited towards him. But is he going to be enough to get you into a championship? Yes, he won a college championship, but there's a difference between winning a college championship and winning in an NFL.
Well, here's the thing. I think where the problem is. Everything that you're saying is going from A to Z, 1 to 10. There's really no 2 to 9. You're looking for the guy that's going to be the guy. If you don't have him, you don't take that decision. So basically, all the process, everything that gets you to the point, you're kind of eliminating on the fact that you think that this guy can't be at number 10 that we want him to be. So this is not allowing us to even make any moves because we're so afraid that we're going to make the wrong move. That it's not even giving us the opportunities to even to have looks at some of these guys.
Well, that's what the whole point of the draft is. You're drafting based on where their potential that you think that they have.
Oh, absolutely, but obviously you
So,
see like there's only a couple, so we're going to wait around for the next 13 years if we have to get a starting quarterback.
No, that's probably why they drafted Will Howard. Like, hey,
But let me ask you
he can
this.
be the guy that can come in and play
ask you
until we
this.
find someone who can take us to the next level.
Well, we don't even know if he's going to play, but let me ask you this. So if there's not a quarterback that we find worthy of being that guy for the next 5 years, we're going to let this go a whole nother 5 years? I mean, just in the way that you're explaining on how you should look at the draft and how you should go about it, that's kind of what you're suggesting.
That's
we'll
what
let this go for a long time if we have to until we find that exact thing that you're looking for.
Yeah, I'm not taking a quarterback in the first round if I don't think they're eventually going to be a quarterback.
So you would continue for another half dozen years. Okay, just I just
because there's trades, there's free agency. I can find guys
all right, that's
that way. Yeah,
we do have to move on though. Good. All right, appreciate that. Tortilla says, I don't know. We have a 42-year-old a prospect who's never seen the field, and Mason freaking Rudolph. At this point, I'm okay with. That's what I'm saying. I just want to. Something has got to be done. Is what the point I'm trying to make. Somber says this won't happen though. Or won't happen. Thought because AR2 is a vampire. Rooney, of course. Let's see. Howard can anticipate passes. Let's see. Kind of spot on, Ryan. Let's scoot up a little bit further here. Somber says 10 plus quarterbacks return to school. Relax. You never know until you know. And that's the thing. I mean, if it was easy, every team would have it's not an easy thing. But again, at least other teams are trying. If you get a Drake May and he gets you to the Super Bowl, but ends up not being the guy, you know what? You made a good run. I don't know. Call me crazy. And let's see. Kenneth says, you never know. Tyrone says this. I think Mike's saying no quarterback worth first round. I would agree. And there we go, Mike. We are at the top. And unfortunately, we're at the time of the show, Mike, where we are going to start winding it down for the day as we are heading into our winter break. Mike, of course, will be today is the last day. We'll be back on the 23rd. We won't be back in next week. We'll be taking the time to reboot and get ready for this off season, guys, as it is a big off season for the Steelers, maybe one of the biggest off seasons for the Steelers in the history of the team, certainly in my lifetime, for sure, Mike. So why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about the website, and then we will get into some trivia for the day.
The2dumyinzers.com. Check it out, everyone. We got the merch store over there. We got the dumb thoughts over there. We got all of our social media links over there. The2dumyinzers.com.
Go check it out, everybody. A lot of cool stuff over at the website, www.d2dumyinzers.com. That's www.d2dumyinzers.com. Mike's dumb thoughts, links to every show, contact information, merch store, all kind of cool things. Go check it out at www.d2dumyinzers.com. All right, guys, time for the trivia question of the day. Put your thinking caps on, Mike. Put your thinking caps board. Everybody at home, here we go. It's time to do some Steeler trivia to send us into vacation, if you will, Mike. This is the question of the day. If I can find it. There we go. Question of the day is this. Since 2000, Mike, the Pittsburgh Steelers won 15 postseason games since the year 2000. How many games did they lose in the postseason since the year 2000, Mike? There's the question of the day. 15 and what are the Steelers since the year 2000.
In the year 2000.
Take a minute to think that over. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. every day right here on the Tube.
On Tube.
How many losses has the Steelers taken in the playoffs since the year 2000 is the question of the day. Take a minute to think that through, guys. Throw your answers up on the board. If you know, if you may not know, throw your guesses up there. Thank you, Lindsay. We appreciate that. Again, it's going to be busy. So it'll be a busy vacation as we do, again, try to put a lot of things together for the off season. It's going to be a busy one. It's going to be a blast. A lot of things are going to be figured out during this offseason for the Steelers, guys. I need to know, though, how many losses has the Steelers taken in the playoffs since the year 2000? I see Mike's right hand moves into mouse holding mode. I study. I stare at him. I can see the movements, and I'm learning them as time goes on. And as I've seen that right hand slowly move down to.
And I'm not Googling. I was actually pulling up the calculator.
See, Richard is saying 19. Mike, he's saying they took 19 L's in the since the year 2000 in the playoffs. Tyrone is saying they went 15 and 18, so he's saying 18 is the answer. Tortilla really close with 73. Let's see. Vegas says probably something stupid like 15 and 15. Guys, so there's definitely some different answers on the board. Mike, what is your thought process at this point as you're grasping the calculator? It was ever slight move though. I caught it because I stare at you, but at the end of the day, Mike, what is your thought process?
So
15 wins, how many losses since the year 2000 for the Pittsburgh Steelers in the postseason?
So you have to go at least 500 because you're going to win and lose right there, right? And then there's some 2-1s, a lot of 0-1s in there as well going in.
And 0-7 in the last 7.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to go. We are 15 and 17.
15 and 17. And is this your final answer?
Final answer.
All right, I'm going to lock Mike in on a 15 and 17. So he's saying that the answer is 17. Let me scoot up a little bit. I don't want to miss anybody's answers if they do have it correct up here. John is saying all of them. Let me make a couple of these announcements first, guys. Before we do give the answers, I do want to say these things. If you are getting ready to get your drink on this weekend, you better do it with nobody other than Duquesne Pilsner. That's right. The guys at Duquesne Pilsner go out of their way to include us in all their promotions, and we were greatly appreciative of that. Just if you're not a drinker, even go swing by some of their social media, hit the like, hit the follow. I'm sure they will appreciate that. But Mike and I have we always have Duquesne Pilsner on tap here at the studio, and there's never a football game that goes by, Mike, that we don't have it and we're not consuming. So again, Duquesne Pilsner made right here in Pittsburgh, Mike, and it says right on the can, grab a Duke.
Grab a Duke.
Also, what else? I'll get into that here shortly. Let's get back to this question of the day. Jamal is saying 15 and 11. 15 and 11 is their playoff record since 2000. Steeler Freak John is saying 13. He's saying 13 is his answer. 15 wins, 13 losses. Mike, let's see. You said what? 17? All right, let's get the answer, guys. This is time. It's time to reveal the answer of the question of the day heading into winter break for us here at the Two Dum Yinzers. Guys, the question of the day is this. Since 2000, what has the Steelers' playoff record been? I'll give you a hint. They have 15 wins. How many losses do they have, guys? I've seen a lot of different answers on the board. How many losses in the playoffs since 2000 for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Mike says 17. Here is the correct answer, guys. The correct amount of losses the Steelers had in the playoffs, in the postseason since 2000. Basically, their whole tenure at Heinz Field, Acrisure Stadium, for the most part. The answer is 15 wins, 15 losses.
Ooh.
Exactly 15 and 15. So there you go. So before we lost the last 7, we were sitting nice. We were sitting at 15 and 8, and then we lost 7 in a row. So that is how we got to that point, guys. So if you guessed 15 and 15, that was the correct answer. Congratulations, good job. I know somebody had it. Who had 15 and 15? Was it Vegas? It was Vegas. He says probably 15 and 15. That is correct. Great job, Vegas. Also, I liked a lot of the creativity today, Mike. I say the game ball goes to everybody that did throw up an opinion on the creative name for some possible shows coming up after the break, guys. There were some super game balls, but at the end of the day, if you threw up your opinion, you threw up any kind of name recommendation for that idea, guys, you all get the game ball. You know what? As a matter of fact, the whole board gets the game ball. Everybody at home that listened, anybody that would viewed this show, listen to this show today, you all get game balls as we do head into the winter break here on the show. Again, we'll be back not next Monday coming up, but the following Monday, the 23rd. Let me get some more announcements out though, Mike. Over this next week, we will be working on a lot. So if you are interested in being taking part in this show, again, we're growing. We're going to be adding people in many different capacities, guys. So if you're interested in being involved with the two Dum Yinzers, send your inquiry to, as Mike is going to put it up on the terrible board, our email address, guys. He'll put that up there, and we will we'll contact you back. Again, we'll get you the information that you need, you're asking for. Also, that we're also going to be advertising, looking for sponsors as well. If you have a business, even just your show, and you're looking for some advertising, we'll be doing that. Also inquire through the email address there. And finally, we will be having Free Networking Saturday is basically what it's going to be called, where people that have shows, maybe you're planning on having a show, you just don't know where to go first. We're going to have on our network on Saturdays all kind of different shows. So if you're interested in putting your show up for free on our Free Networking Saturday, do send inquiry as well. Also to our email address. As you see, Mike does have it up on the board at Two Dum Yinzers. That's TWODUMYIN. Maybe that's why, Mike. Maybe it's because you have Yinzer spelled wrong. Is that why?
The Y did not take. My bad. I'm sorry.
Well, the Y took. It was the N.
The N. Yeah.
We were ever wondering why Jamal wasn't getting through yesterday. It couldn't be the spelling errors.
See, now I'm typing it on my thing again. I forgot the M. Okay.
So there you go, guys. Do send it. I promise. There it is. Two Dum Yinzers. I'm glad I tried to spell. I'm glad I spelled that out. TWODUMYINZERS at gmail.com. Send your inquiries, guys. Again, if you have interest in any of those areas, we'll be doing a lot of work in regards of growing and just things of the future this coming week. So send it over. We will take a look. We'll get back to you. And we'll have a conversation, try to figure all that stuff out. Finally, Mike, what else do we have in less than a month? Less than a month, we have free agency. 70 days, we have the draft, Mike. All kind of big things coming up for the Steelers. So we're super pumped up to get into this break, to get ready for all that's coming after. A few things else I do want to say, Mike, as far as social media, do go check out our social media. Don't hesitate. Jump on, hit the like button, hit the follow button. Guys, as we are everywhere. We're on Facebook. We're on X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, even TikTok, guys. Swing by. Hit the like button. It all helps out, and again, we appreciate it. And finally, if you haven't had a chance, do hit the like button down below. Hit the like, sub, share, even comment, and it all helps out in the algorithm. Again, very, very appreciative, guys. We thank you so much as we do head into this week off. Mike, it's been since last July since we took a week off, and I got to be honest with you.
Long time.
I'm ready for a little break. I got to be honest. There's a lot of things that it's just taking time to get to because of the everyday work that we do. So I'm looking forward to jumping in new projects and again, really, really getting stuff ready for the second, the area of time between now and the next break, which again will be right before football season does kick off with camp in July. So a lot of stuff, Mike. We're going to be busy. We'll be busy this week off.
Very, very busy.
With that being said, Mike, I did say this, and I don't want to lead anybody astray. This was something, Mike, that was said by Rich Eisen. Rich Eisen says this. Rich Eisen is hearing, again, he's only hearing, but Rich Eisen is hearing that it's TV next for Mike Tomlin. Again, I don't have confirmation. I'm not saying that this is fact. I'm just saying that Rich Eisen, I was just reading this morning, says that he's hearing that TV is next for Mike Tomlin. We will see. I think Mike might want to take a year or two off. I certainly would. Take advantage, enjoy your family, enjoy your money, you're successful, brother. Take some time off and then jump back in it if you'd like. Also, with that being said, Mike, all the drama that went on this week between Joey Porter and Big Ben and Cam Hayward and about Coach Tomlin, and you have people jumping in, Banner and Duck Hodge is even on Ben's side, Antonio Brown, and then Joey Porter had a bunch of people on his side. Mike, I hope they all take the high road and put this behind them. Again, it was kind of a silly thing. We talked a little bit about it yesterday and the day before. I hope that they could, for the sake of the alumni of the Steelers, could get over this. Maybe a little bit more success by the team itself will kind of bring us all back together at the end of the day. So fingers crossed there. Hopefully those gentlemen can get it all together, as they're all greats, and we're going to remember all of them for winning us Super Bowls. In our eyes, that's what they are. They're the Super Bowl winners, and we'll never forget that. Mike, anything before we do wrap it up again for our week off here in the wintertime? Anything before we roll?
I'm gonna miss y'all for a week.
It's gonna be different for sure.
Yeah. So I'm gonna miss everyone for a week. Have fun, everyone. I can't wait to come back next week, or in 2 weeks, excuse me, and just have a blast and keep talking Steeler football.
Absolutely. Let me grab a few more of these messages, guys, and write the email address down or copy it, paste, whatever you got to do. Again, anything that we did bring up, just get a hold of us. We'll be taking those emails all week, the whole 10 days that we're off, as we are working on things. Tyrone says it won't pop up when I type it for some reason. And let me put it to you this way. Let's say you go to get on and you try to email us over break, you don't have any luck. Jump on one of the social media sites and just message us through that. We have them all open. Nothing is and let us know, like, hey, we were having problems with the email. I don't know what's going on, but we will continue to work on that. Steeler Freak says Ryan is taking a knitting class with my mom. Maybe I'll do that. Tortilla says 8 or 9 reason with Mike Tomlin. Jamal, gang, enjoy the break. We appreciate that, sir. I hope you have a great time as well over that period of time. We miss you too, Tyrone. John says this TV Tomlin won't let anyone discuss any FB plays attacking. Oh, gotcha. All right. Let me scoot up. And I think that's all we're going to take for messages. Again, guys, we appreciate all the messages. We will read them all. I promise you. Mike, I'm going to give out thanks, and then we are going to head into break. I think that is everything. Again, you guys are awesome. I want to say thank you, everybody, for coming and hanging out and checking us out. We certainly appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. We wouldn't do without you guys. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you to everybody on the terrible board. You always keep things interesting here on the show. You are the lifeblood of this show. I always say it, and I always mean it. Thank you, guys and gals. And also everybody at home, I want to thank you as well. Maybe you were at the gym, maybe you're in the car, maybe you're at work, whatever the case may be. Thank you too, guys. You all rock our world, baby. We hope that we could just do a little bit to do the same back for you guys. But Mike, we are heading into our week vacation again. We'll be back on the 23rd next Monday. Not next Monday, but next Monday. Mike, one more time. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
See y'all in a week. Have fun. Be safe.
All right. Yes, we do got Instagram all over the place. Hey, pick a social media, type our name in. As I said, if you have any problem with the email, just send something through. We will get it. So again, thank you so much, guys. We'll miss you. We definitely will miss you guys. We love you guys. Again, for the 2 Dum Yinzers, we'll catch you back in 10 days. It's been a blast. We can't wait for a whole off season more and so much more after that. We thank you guys for being a part of this with us. And believe me, you're valued way more than you know that you are. Believe me, you're right up there with us, maybe more important for this show. So thank you so much, guys. For Derpy, for Finch, for Mike, for myself, I want to say thank you, guys. It was a great football season. We're looking forward to so much more. You have a great weekend. Have a great, safe week next week, and we'll see everybody back the following Monday. Stay safe. Be good. We'll see you then. Mike, anything?
No, I got nothing. Have a good one, everyone.
I just can't let everybody go. I don't know.
I know you're wrapping it up. I'm like, okay, cool.
And Mike's breaking shit. So there you go. For us here at the show, thank you so much, everybody, guys. Have a great week. Stay safe. We'll see you next Monday. Bye-bye.
See you guys.